Hey, welcome back to another Thundergun Classic. I'm Thunder, this is the Classic, and of course, the stream decided to crash right at the hour for some reason. What the hell? Couldn't have planned it any better myself. Welcome in, guys. This is day number 2. Get your Snickers, get your whiskey, get your popcorn. Everybody get ready. We are going to be kicking some butt in this tournament. Average OBS moment. Exactly, Sid Phil. Oh my goodness. I was sitting there watching it. I was like, you know, I'm about ready to go live and start talking to people, and it's dropping frames like crazy. This shit's about ready to break, isn't it? And there we go. You know, average OBS moment. More whiskey, more stickers for everybody. That's what the plan was the whole time. All right, guys. I want to go over a few things that we were going to be going through. And I'm going to go over the tournament and what we've been through, where we're at, where we're going. Yo! Sands, what's up, brother? Thank you so much for the gifted. Welcome back. Let's see. Well, after a few month hiatus, I'm glad to be back as a killer. I can say I'm ready to torment again. Well, we're doing a tournament today, brother. We're part of the way through our tournament. Let me show you guys where we are so everybody is on the same page. So, here is our bracket. Let's zoom in a little bit so we can kind of go over where we were and where we are. So, we had our opening rounds yesterday. We had Gamblers versus Mirage, Effigy and Suffocate, Scarlet Hedgies versus Courage, Prism versus Soma Soup Uwu. We had Noxus and Gamblers, Locker Gremlins and Suffocate, Renegade and Courage, Hysteric and Prism. Going on into round 3 of our winners bracket, we have Gamblers and Suffocate. They will not play until Friday, guys. Courage and Prism will also play that day. But we're not going to focus on that at the moment. What we're going to focus on is today. This is the winner go home brackets. This is our underdog brackets right here. It says losers, but they're underdogs. They're not losers. They're going to kick some butt. One of these teams is going to make their way up all the way into the championship round over here. What we got? First up, we got Hysteric versus Mirage. And it looks like we have not heard from Hysteric. So, they are forfeiting this round. Mirage is moving on to the next round already. So the winner of our first match of the day, which is going to be Renegade versus Effigy, the winner of this group is going to go face Mirage. So that's going to be a match we're going to see a little bit later, guys. But first up, our first group is going to be Renegade versus Effigy. The teams weren't ready that far in advance, so we were waiting for them to get ready. And they will be our first match of the day, followed by Locker Gremlins and Hedgies. Then Noxus versus Soma Soup Uwu. So look at the schedule and bump it 45 minutes earlier, guys. So please try to be ready sooner. I know we had the set schedule, but when a team drops out, a team drops out. And we just have to roll with the punches and try to be ready for it. So these two teams are going to be up 45 minutes from now. Locker Gremlins and Scarlet Hedgies. You guys will be up, so make sure you're ready. About an hour in 30 minutes from now, Noxus versus Soup. So you guys make sure you're ready. Then we're going to follow it by Mirage versus the winner of this matchup. Then the winner of these two matchups will be right here, and then that will be the end of it for today. So today is just going to be this round right here of the underdog bracket, and then we're just going to go into a regular stream. We're going to hang out, probably do some TVA, all the cool stuff together. The following week, just so everybody is aware, on Friday, we will have Gamblers, Suffocate, Courage, Prism, and then whoever wins these matchups that go over here will also compete against the people who lose these matchups. So let's pretend Gamblers wins and Courage wins because they're in the top. So Suffocate and Prism go down here, and they go against the winners of today. So the two winners of today will go on and face the losers of Friday. Then going forward, the final day will be semifinals. So the following Saturday will be semifinals and finals. So whoever wins between these groups right here, then whoever wins from this group over here, then the loser from this group will come down here, and the winner goes up. The final, the very, very, very final, will always be best of 3, guys. We will not do the losing team loses. It is the best of 3. So if you're coming from the underdog bracket, if you make it to the championship, it doesn't matter that you've lost. It is officially best of 3. Welcome in, Coffee. Thank you for the lurk. Parker, welcome in. All right, so that's what everybody needs to know there. And as far as Renegade versus Effigy, Renegade, we got a couple more minutes, because I know you guys need a little bit of time to get ready. But if you have somebody from Renegade, you are the top seed. If you want to let me know if you want the 1 or the rocket ship, we can flip the coin now, so everyone can start getting situated on whether or not they're going to be killer or survivor. They have chosen the rocket. Let's do it, baby. All right, Effigy, you have won the coin flip. Do you want to be killer or survivor first? Let us know. We can get you on in here. In the meantime, if you guys have not added me, you should have already added me since we played yesterday. If you have not, there's my codes. And can we get a mod to do a 10-minute prediction on which team will win? Let's keep that gambling alive, guys, because I know you guys had a lot of fun with it. We did a lot of gambling yesterday. It was really fun. Also, today, we have a new commentator coming in that did not commentate yesterday. And then we also have, in the call with me right now, the fan favorite. We got Nugs. Nugs, how you doing today?
The one and only Nuggy is here. I am doing fantastic, Thunder. I had such a fun time yesterday casting those first 4 rounds. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be there for all of them, but luckily we have multiple casters here. But these matchups definitely look interesting. I was looking at what killers I'm going to be seeing with casting today. And it's very, very interesting, very unique sets. I definitely am going to be enjoying casting over these, casting just everything in general, giving you guys the competitive insight, because I know this is more of a casual stream, so like I love teaching as well. If you guys didn't know that from yesterday, it's just gonna be fantastic, man.
I'm excited to see what happens here. This first matchup, the killers that we have in this first matchup are going to be quite interesting. We got, again, Renegade versus Effigy. So we need to go ahead and change those out. Okay, the logos here. So we got Renegade is now on the left. That is their logo. And let's get Effigy up there as well on the right. Those are our teams. And the killers that Renegade and Effigy are using are going to be Wraith and Ghostface.
Yep, very interesting. We saw some Wraith yesterday. I was there casting some Wraith, and Ghostface I have yet to see very unique pick here, especially because in the competitive scene, this is usually one of the most complex sets that you will see if you ever watch like not just here in Thunders, but in a general competitive sense, will be it's like one of the most complex sets, if not the most complex, one of the hardest sets to learn in the entirety of Dead by Daylight, because of how he plays. Ghostface's power involves stalking to expose a survivor and get them insta-downed, which just a refresher for those that may have forgotten. And that is the entirety of what competitive Ghostfaces are trying to do. They want to either 99 your stock bar, or they can just pop and expose, make you panic, think that he's nearby, but he could just be leaving, going somewhere else. There's so many things you can do. Wraith, on the other hand, he's the hit and run killer of Dead by Daylight. You go to a survivor, you uncloak, you smack him with your good old skull spine weapon thingy. I think that's what I called it yesterday. No, the
Yeah,
skull bell
I think that's what you
spine
called it. Yeah.
weapon thingy. Yeah, there we go. See, I'm such a good weapon namer, and then you cloak back up, you run away, and you go do the same to someone else. It's usually how it goes. So I'm very excited, especially for both of these teams here, Renegade and Effigy. I casted over Effigy yesterday, but I did not cast over Renegade, so hopefully Renegade will enjoy some of the Nugs casting.
Could be interesting.
Yeah, hopefully. You excited, Thunder?
I'm excited. One matchup that I'm really excited to see is the Locker Gremlins versus Scarlet Hedgies. It is double Sadako. So it's going to be a mirror match of Sadako versus Sadako. So,
In the world of the High Noon Havoc, where you can pick anyone, there's so many options, yet we have a mirrored set that's gonna be very, very fun to see. It's it's so lovely. Just the matter of fact that these manage to align with each other.
alright, give me 1 second here. And how are we doing with Renegade and Effigy?
Griff did mention Effigy wants the kills first.
Effigy wants to be killer first? Alright, so go ahead
Yes.
and send me an invite when you are ready. I'm not sure if Renegade is ready. Again, guys, first team dropped out, so we are killing some time hanging out, and we're waiting for them to show up and get ready. It's not their fault at all, so we appreciate the patience, and we hope everything can get going. Mike Tyson was going to lose. Jake always has a script in his boxing matches. Bro can't win unless it's planned. Fair. Both teams are ready? All right. Can you go ahead and send me an invite, Effigy, with your killer? Not sure. I'm not getting an invite. How am I doing today? I'm doing great. How are you today, Parker? You ready to see some crazy teams going head to head? We got some crazy strong comp teams, so this should be really interesting.
Very lovely, jubbly.
All right, there we go. I got an invite, and I should be getting an invite from their killers soon. We're gonna start this off and kicking some butt. They're setting up the lobby now. Let's go. So Effigy is going to be playing. They're the ones playing Ghostface. So what do you expect the most out of a Ghostface in the comp scene?
There is many things that could happen with a Ghostface set if
And they're on
there's just so
Lyrics.
many variables in such this kind of set because it is so complex that I can see anything happening here. Like any possible result can happen, and it would not blow my mind at all in a sense. Yeah, I've seen like 3 stages. I've seen not a single generator get completed. There's so many different kinds of results that just range from high to low, just based on how the complexity of a Ghostface set. Because Ghostfaces are also set up to be on Larry's, which is also a very hard map to learn in the competitive scene. But once you get it down, you have it down. That's the good news. We'll see if the survivors of Renegade have that map down. Uh, and if they do, then hopefully less mistakes will be made. We see we see it in a general sense as why some results happen is because mistakes get made, and that results in a snowball kind of effect that just results in more and more happening to for either side. Like say uh, survivor's going for an unhook, but then suddenly they go down, and that could be really bad. You have someone slugged right next to the hook, and the killer just gets to be there, no matter what.
Mm-hmm. So, from chat, OG is asking, who is your speaking coach? Because he needs some lessons.
I also was gonna call that out. I do not have a speaking coach. I just straight up, when I started as a caster, I just started yapping and did not stop. Fun fact about me though, my first time casting, I did cast a Ghostface set, so I have that experience from day one on this kind of killer here. No speaking coach from me. I just don't stop yapping.
You just don't stop yapping. I love it. I love it.
What
Retiring
about the
from
rumors?
Wildcard as staff. What's Wildcard?
Oh,
And why are you retiring?
wild. Hey, those are rumors. Those are not true.
Who's Wildcard? Tell us about Wildcard.
Wildcard is a league that OG runs himself. It is another unique style tournament where there's really not that much balancing compared to what you see in a normal tournament. Instead, you have a draft process where teams one by one in a snake draft order draft perks one at a time for 10 rounds and then two at a time for 8. Any survivor perk, any killer perk is on the board, can be taken. Things you'd usually see banned, like Deliverance, something like. For example, in the PTB, we have that hook trading perk. That would be allowed here, and it is very much going to be not allowed in the typical competitive setting. You can just pick that. You can pick reassurance. You can pick some insane killer perks. Like usually you have that aura reading band. You can go ahead, get yourself some lethal pursuer. You can go ahead and get yourself some barbecue and chili. That is completely fine here. You just have to be the first person to pick it. Once someone picks a perk, it is gone forever. once once that draft process happens, there's going to be two division round robin between four teams each, a Division A and Division B, and then the four highest scorers move on to the playoffs where they play for the crown. As a matter of fact, tonight is finals night for wildcard as well.
Oh,
So
hell
the
yeah.
grand finals between Reminiscent and Sorrow, they're going to be playing a best of five there. That'll be on OG stream.
That sounds pretty awesome. I'm going to have
Oh,
to check it
very.
out later.
I love it very much. I've been staffing there a while as well, and gotta say the teams there are awesome, and it's definitely a unique experience. So give it a shot. This is gonna be the finals until I believe next January will be when the next wild card is held. So if you guys are interested in some silly tournament like that, that's a good place to start. Tell us about your favorite perk better than new. No.
Thank you, Chris, for the update.
The
Oh,
inside joke there is that when I was doing build checks for a team, I missed that better than new was not allowed, and I basically let them run it for three whole games.
wait, say that one more time. I'm
I
sorry.
hate better than.
You did
Uh,
what for 3 whole games?
I basically let a team that was not allowed to run better than new run better than new for just three entire games.
Oh, because it's your favorite perk. Yeah, no. OG told me about it. We had a long talk about it. He's like, you need to keep an eye on Nugs because Nugs is gonna let people just run better than new on every single survivor.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just please run better than new. Do not take it off. My favorite perk of all time.
All right, we're loading in. We are
Yeah, here
getting
we
ready,
go.
everybody. Sorry for the delay. Like I said, when a team drops out, it bumps everybody up, and people weren't ready, 45 minutes to an hour ahead of time. So, other teams behind, please try to be ready if you can, and let's see what we can do to make sure that, we can keep running it smoothly. I appreciate you guys.
Yep, yep.
All right, and we are loading in. Ping looks good.
And now we're here. We're here on the Larry's Memorial Institute, where we have 4 survivors and 1 sneaky ghost face trying to stalk these survivors, get them instant down and onto a hook for the Elder God, the entity. This is going to be very interesting. Like I said, before we loaded in here, and there's already something unique I'm seeing about the perk choice here is that there's no blocked generators right now, which means this Ghostface did not bring corrupt intervention. Quite usually on a Ghostface set, you'll be seeing a very long early game and you'll want that corrupt intervention to be there to give you that extra time to try and 99 some survivors, try and just get their exposed ready.
And I'm very curious by that pallet back there. Why would he break that pallet?
That pallet, he is just pretty much breaking any pallet right now that he's seeing because of one of his add-ons. His green add-on allows him to instantly give him his power back right when he breaks a pallet.
So I see. Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
He is using that to his advantage to try and stalk these survivors.
So the plan here would be get in chase as quickly and as often as he can, build the stock meter to 99 on as many people as he can, and then snowball. So that's essentially what we're seeing here, right?
Yeah, pretty much. And you see that there. Paradigm, our Ada, is very much not trying to drop that pallet for as long as possible and take that M1 attack. This is to, for one, reset the stock meter, which can sometimes be useful, especially when it comes to taking hits. And for 2, it allows our Ghostface here to replenish his power immediately if Paradigm drops the pallet, and that is why he does not want to drop the pallet. That will result in our first down of the game there, and a first hook.
And we just saw another perk we can call out with Pentimento. We saw
Yes.
the white and we saw him rekindle one. That's interesting.
Yes, very interesting perk choice. Not one I see often in the Ghostface set. It's kind of like uncommon. It's not rare, it's not common, it's more so uncommon, so to say. Pentimento is the perk that you rekindle a totem that's broken, and gens are 30% slower. Our Ghostface here, Outcast Andrew, is likely bringing this due to the ability to roam free around the map while he's in power, to just be able to freely check on that Pentimento while he's undetectable, which I'm slightly surprised he hasn't entered stealth yet. But it looks like it's going to be in his favor here. Paradigm going to be running straight into him, and that will allow Andrew to get the down right back onto Paradigm, in which I did not say this yet, but Paradigm also has the Boil Over perk. Wiggling very strong, as you can see here, very much getting onto Outcast Andrew, and you saw that hook aura disappear. That's also part of the perk. And there is going to be the second totem cleanse. Pentimento is now gone out of the game. Our Ghostface here stuck with 2 perks only, and 2 generators have now popped in return for the second hook onto Paradigm. We see that stock build up onto our Saga here, gonna be running towards some L rooms, some extra square rooms towards the main area of the map, and getting that 99. Now our Saga is going to be insta-downable as soon as Outcast Andrew enters his stock.
And good question in chat of what's going on. If you missed it yesterday, for those of you that are not in comp, the scoreboard that you see at the top, the generator is the main score. So the more generators you get, the better. If there's a tie in generators, then it goes down to hooks. So they want to get as many hooks as possible. And then if there's a tie there as well, it goes to fresh hooks as far as you know, the first hook. Sometimes you'll see people getting camped and tunneled out, kind of like what we just saw here. This is a comp tournament, so you will see tunneling, slugging, camping. There is no survivor rulebook. It is no holds barred. It is do whatever you want. The only penalty you get is if you leave a survivor to bleed out completely on the ground, you lose the death hook. And if you never hooked them, you don't get the fresh hook for them. So you want to hook at some point to get that fresh hook and to get that hook state.
Yep, absolutely. Explained that scoring system perfectly there, Thunder. And while Thunder was explaining this scoring system, we did see that our Ada did get tunneled out of the game, is now gone. Only 3 survivors alive. And we saw something really crucial towards this 3 versus 1 situation here, and that is Andrew finding where the survivors were healing each other. This is a massive find in terms of Outcast Andrew here, and the survivors did not want to be found in such a position. This reason is because you have only 3 survivors alive. That means not as many survivors can work on generators. And then another reason is that you're trying to heal someone. So that's also not very good to be found in such a way. We also saw that 99 come into effect, and that is going to be our Saga going down, getting exposed, just 99 perfectly, and now it is just our Adam here, him against the world, him against this ghost face. It's only him here. We're gonna be kicking this generator, not trying to let Adam work on anything here. And we're just going to be stealthing around, seeing if we can find this Adam. Just trying to stealth around. We're searching around here, and we see Adam's position. He's far away from our slugger survivors. So Outcast Andrew is just going to be picking up our Claudette here, Juani, and just going to be taking him onto this hook inside of this room here. Power is now back. He can't go undetectable. We see that our Saga gets picked up. This is Merlin getting picked up by Adam. It's now these 2 against the world. Have to save that Claudette, our Juani here, and avoid Outcast Andrew and his blade. Gonna be roaming back to hook. We do see this camping that Thunder had mentioned earlier on when he was explaining the scoring system. We're trying to camp here because if both of these survivors are injured, they would like to probably heal each other, so going for this unhook is rather safe because these survivors are expecting this. They're expecting the camping, the tunneling. They were trying to work around this. That was their game plan around this. We're now entering this double length room. Gonna be kicking it, getting it regressed a little, trying to make sure that it doesn't get done for free. And we do see one person is just working on a generator here, and another person is trying to be a little bit stealthy, hiding from Outcast Andrew here, trying to go towards the bottom side of the map to either work on another generator or do something of the like. We do see that stealth survivors scratch marks and blood though, and Andrew making the decision to not go for the save. What he expects here is that someone is working on a generator that he is currently walking towards, but Adam is actually working the main generator, and Andrew didn't really expect this for a long time. He's now going to main now, and they unfortunately don't get it done in time, so he's going to be able to kick it. We see that the bar is yellow. That is because of brutal strength. These survivors likely would have noticed that by now. So that is going to be another perk in Andrew's arsenal, and that is also a why he brought that instant recharge add-on. He brought that with brutal strength to be able to quickly break those pallets and get his power right back, get that stalking right going.
And
Adam
good
here,
question from the chat. Good question from the
What do we
chat.
have?
So we do have a perk that is banned for a matchup against Ghostface, Solidarity. So it is going to be a penalty. That's why we see the X up on the screen for Renegade, the Survivor crew. Basically, what that penalty means is it is going to be a half a hook penalty. So if they match completely of 3 gens and the same amount of hooks and the same amount of fresh hooks all the way down, that half a hook penalty will cost them the matchup.
Yep, that'll result in 11 and a half hooks compared to 12 hooks, and with that win condition, that would mean that the team with 12 hooks takes the official win. During this time, good question by the way, chat, keep on asking. During this time though, we have seen that there are now 2 survivors on hook, and Huani is left to fend for herself. This little Claudette here, we don't know where she is, but she could be anywhere working any of these generators, and that is the case. Going to be popping the final generator to secure a win condition of a 4 kills at 1 generator for our next killer here on Renegade. And then because of that half a hook penalty, all effigy survivors really need to do is pop those 4 generators. Usually you'd see the win condition be all 5 generators complete. That first win condition there, that first requirement, so to say.
Yeah, so what we'll see for the next match is if we get a 4 gen, 12 hook, 4 fresh hook game, we will have overtime. Or we would, but there's the half hook penalty. So because of that, Renegade, there's no way they could tie. So Renegade will have to stop them from getting 4 gens.
Yep, that is their goal here. Renegade's killer can only allow 3 generators to be completed in this case. And on the Wraith, that can be possible if Effigy does make enough mistakes. We see our perk check here. We see that everything other than the Solidarity is good. We have some very nice choices here. I like these choices. Very usual, so to say, on a set like the Ghostface. The other add-on, I never touched on this because we only saw 1 mark. This is the drop leg knife sheath, where if you mark a survivor, you are 10% faster for 5 seconds. Ghostfaces like to run this add-on to catch up to that survivor in case they're far away or they're at a pallet. You can be a little bit faster and try and prevent a survivor from making it around the loop, so to say. So that is the primary reason why Andrew would be running such an add-on there. And the final perk we never really got to see in action because it got cleansed so instantly was Hex Ruin.
Yeah, it was
Hex
gone so
Ruin.
quick.
Yeah, it was just gone so fast. Hex Ruin, though, is one of those perks where you let go of a gen, the gen regresses for you. Happy, you get to be lazy. It's so fun.
So
That's good on... What's going on?
no,
Thunder?
go ahead, finish your thought. Sorry.
Okay. The main reason why Ghostfaces love to run that kind of perk is because you're a stealth killer, so usually you'll have survivors kind of worried as to where you are if you've kind of vanished from everyone's line of sight. So they might get off of the generator, try and go to a safe area to make sure they're not giving away a free down. And that is where Hex Ruin comes into play and eats up that progress. That is mainly what Outcast Andrew was going for there. What did you have to say, Thunder?
So what are you thinking if you're going into this match and you are Effigy's survivors? Are you thinking you get the 4 gens and you win? Right? You just crank those out and you just basically cause the win? Are you thinking make sure that we don't screw up at all and make sure that we're not bringing in a ban perk or anything like that that cause us to get half a hook stage penalty that would cause a tie? Or are you ballsy and you're gonna mess up on purpose and force the tiebreaker? I mean, money's not on the line. This is a fun tournament. That would be interesting. That is something I am looking forward to, is a tiebreaker, a 1v1. I would love to see it. Beautiful. We got them joining in now.
If I were effigy survivors, I would mainly have the thought process of just trying to crank up 4 generators. We don't have a 3-gen situation to worry about like you'd usually see on a map like Dead Dog Saloon. The Gallows and Cactus area is usually very common for having 3 gens very close to each other in a somewhat easy to create dead zone area. And then so the thought process is just find find 4 workable generators and crank them out. If you have to go to some other generators, then go to some other generators. Just make sure that we are cranking those generators, getting them done. On the side of the killer, however, Renegade's killer, I would have the thought process of do not let this win condition stress you out.
Good
You
call out.
you do not want to be making the mistakes. You do not want to be thinking like, "Oh my god, I can only afford 3 generators popping." No, you're gonna be confident. You're gonna be like, "Okay, this is my win condition. This is how I'm gonna get that win condition."
So what I'm
You
hearing
know?
is you are putting in your AirPods and you're cranking Katy Perry if you were this killer and you're just zoning out, doing your thing, kicking some butt, relaxing, and just making sure you don't go to the win condition. Is that what I'm hearing?
Absolutely, that is what I'm saying. California Girls is getting played.
Yes, sir. Oh, I love it. By the way, um, so everyone, make sure you know that if you do not move on in the tournament, it's not the end of the day. We will be having another tournament like this in the future. They're just for fun, so I hope you guys have a great experience. Both teams are awesome. All the teams in this tournament that have shown up and played, you guys are all awesome. It's really cool to see this. This is a good experience to meet, other teams, other people, experience for commentators, experience for me in the comp world. So I like putting on these shows and I like bringing people together through these things. So, if you happen to not win this time, keep in mind, I'm going to keep doing them. They will be announced in the server. I always do some kind of tournament, whether it be a 1v1 tournament. I had a blood point tournament. I had a sandbag tournament. There's all kinds of fun activities we do like once a month. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, or if you want to join in for the next Swift style tournament, we always adjust the tournament and we always change it slightly every time. So last time we actually had the Survivor rulebook in play. Like killers couldn't slug, tunnel, camp, stuff like that. This time we leaned into a hardcore comp tournament. So that's why you see all of the sweat just flying around everywhere. So keep that in mind. Like, we always change it just slightly. We always trying to bring you a different tournament, bring you some fun. Next time we might even do some kind of incentive for the tournament, whether it be like right now our incentive is the banner that you get. Your whole team gets to be put on a professionally done banner showing off that you've won the tournament. In the future, we're going to think of other incentives. We might even do a monetary incentive. So keep that in mind for the future. And again, if you lose, like I said, not the end of the world. If you win, you keep playing. Whatever team wins, guys, you will play again later today. So you'll take a break after this, let the nerves, kind of go from your hands, shake them out, put on some Katy Perry, whatever you got to do. Relax a little bit. And then in a couple games, you'll be back up to kind of force your way back into the finals.
Yep,
Right.
absolutely. You keep on going. You keep your head up. Keep your head facing forward, especially for our teams here. No matter what happens, keep your head up. Keep your head forward. We are now going to be loading into the Wraith on Dead Dog Saloon. And for those who have just tuned in, the win condition for our killer here. You see that X on the left side of the name team logo there. That is because it is a half a hook penalty due to the last game they had brung a banned perk. So currently that will mean half a hook stage is going to be gone. That means that our killer cannot let 4 generators pop. That is their win condition. If 3 generators pop, they win. If 4 generators pop, they lose. It is very simple for our killer here, luckily. Now, we are at the shack, and our first tag of the game has happened. Another comp thing you see there, shack pallet is just another filler. You saw that just get pre-drop, not even trying to go for a stun.
Right now just saw Shack at 5, and they all just freaked out. But
Yup.
players, like you said, comp players know that Shack is just a filler palette to get you to your next loop. So all you freaking out over Shack at 5, just, comp players don't care. Shack at 5, they're banned.
We do not care as much. We see Shack and we see, ooh, this is a good palette to get us to where we need to die. Because a lot of the things in comp involve the death spots, dying in a correct. That is a Wraith.
Our Wraith is having some problems.
Okay.
Right now. I mean, all right, Wraith. I mean, it's okay, buddy.
You do you. I didn't know we were taking stretching to the next level. Maybe I'll do that when I get out of bed tomorrow morning.
Our Wraith was playing Tetris right there.
Yup. Trying to get that T-spin into the correct position, that's for sure. We see that Dwight trying to make the play, just constantly vaulting that shack window because to try and get the Wraith to not vault it. If you saw earlier in the trial, you were hearing some kind of entity noises when our Wraith was vaulting a window. This is due to Bamboozle, one of our Wraith's perks this time around, where you vault a window, it's a little bit faster, and it gets blocked for a whole 16 seconds. This is with one of our add-ons, which allows you to do everything 60% faster while you are cloaked. A very good add-on on the Wraith. I love this add-on so much. During my yapping, we saw that our Rebecca here has gotten unhooked and going to be running to a little unsafe pallet here, likely going to be playing this until death if our Wraith does not make a mistake, and they will not. They have played that ultimately. Rebecca played that as optimally as she could. We also, while we also still see the Wraith playing Tetris. He does not stop. He's been addicted since 1983 when it came out. We saw though that Dwight and Rebecca had some negative status effects when we were switching towards them to see what our survivors were doing, and this is another of the Wraith's perks that cause this sloppy butcher, where you hit someone and you apply some statuses that make it a lot harder to heal. You have more blood, and then the healing regresses when you let go, and you have the mangled status effect, which makes it 25% longer to get that heal finish, which time is everything here. During my explanations, though, we do see that Rebecca has been unhooked for the second time, and our Wraith was trying to go back towards the hook to find this Rebecca here, because again, we want to tunnel Rebecca out of this game. That is in Renegade's mind right now. If you can have one survivor dead at this time, there is a lot of potential that can happen. A 3v1 situation is huge on the Wraith. That is exactly what he needs here. Going to be chasing our Dwight here trying to vault back into the Wraith, thinking he'd stop his uncloak and try to vault the window with Bamboozle to force a hit to happen. But no, our Wraith here very committed to the job and getting that uncloak, just not stopping, predicting that our Dwight Myers would be going for that. And yet again, we body blocked our Dwight here, Myers, who is going to be having to chase that water tower. A nice fake happened at the window where our Wraith thought that he was gonna vault, but he did not vault.
We have a good question in chat. They want to know if barbecue and chili is banned. So it depends on the killer. Every killer has their own perks that they are allowed to use. I'm not exactly sure which ones are allowed to use barbecue, if any, to be honest. Furious, if you're there, maybe you can answer for chat more on barbecue itself. Because I think for the most part we got rid of all aura perks, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm checking now. I see that it's not in the general killer ban section, so there might be some killers that are allowed barbecue and chili, maybe some on the weaker end. Barbecue and chili, for those that don't know, you hook a survivor and 40 meters away from your hook, you see survivors' auras for a whole 5 seconds, 7 with Lethal Pursuer. So it looks like it would be allowed on the Wraith, just maybe not those high-tier killers like Nurse, Blight, all those very strong killers. Why our killer is not running barbecue and chili, as these survivors know the whole build, they've seen that Scourgehook Pain Resonance is in play, and they've seen that Eruption is also in play. The reason that our Wraith did not run barbecue and chili is their main goal here is to regress these generators and regress survivor actions and have a quick chase. That is what they are going for with their current build. Barbecue and chili is one of those perks that you don't see a lot in competitive when it is allowed, due to the fact that these killers have a general census as to where survivors would be at certain times. For example, after hooking Rebecca, he knew that survivors would be working on this gen here, and that is the case where we see 2 survivors, our Dwight and our Lara, working this backstreet generator, in which now that he knows where those 2 survivors are, he's going to try and find Tap, who is working this generator inside of this building here. So now our Wraith has a rough idea as to where every survivor is, and that is good news for him. He likes that news. This Tap will not stop vaulting the window. He loves that window. Holy.
He was in love with that window.
He just couldn't stop. It's like one of those Dead by Daylight bots. You know, someone DCs, you get a bot there, and they just can't stop vaulting those windows. They love those windows. We now have the chase at the main building. Tap's main goal here is to survive as long as possible while Lara and Dwight crank a generator. We see him go into the locker and make our Wraith whiff. The reason why he did this is because Tap knows here that our Wraith's main goal is to try and slug. No need to hook, no need to do any of that. But forcing the locker there forces him to pick him up, similar to like Wesker's grab, so to say, with his power. And with that force, it takes even longer to drop. So in Wraith's mind, he's like, might as well take this hook then. There's just no reason not to. So he did, which allowed him to get another token of Scourgehook Pain Resonance used. And we saw that generator that Lara was working with such high progress that allowed that generator to regress just that teeny tiny extra bit in order to prevent the completion. As a reminder, one more gen and Renegade has lost this round
He's
here.
holding on to
And
these
Effigy
gens
gets to move
by
on.
the skin of his teeth, dude. He is holding
Yeah,
on. This is
he
wild.
wants these gens defended. He is playing to move on to the next round. He wants that banner. He wants that banner. You said that was the incentive. He wants it. He wants that banner. He's gonna be the underdog of this tournament.
These survivors are fighting hard for it.
Oh, they most
What's your
definitely
strategy?
are.
You got one person dead. You need one gen. Is it better to just split up because he's got sloppy? He's doing a hit and run.
Yeah, he is doing that hit and run pretty well. If Dwight was not there, he would have just taken the hit on Lara, for example.
Do you think the survivors healing through sloppy has been the issue that's making them struggle for time right now?
Not necessarily. You'd like to heal against the Wraith, mainly in better positions. I'd say that would be a little bit of a mistake on Effigy's end.
Oh!
And wait a minute. We might see this generator get complete here.
Oh my god!
Oh my goodness, and we do! Lara there with an insane body block. Oh my god.
It was just
that was
one
absolutely
second.
insane.
That 1 second of a body block. Bink is the MVP for that. Holy shit, that was wild.
My goodness. Oh wow, that is one way to win a round. And that right there is Dead by Daylight. That right there just explains competitive Dead by Daylight to the T. Time is everything. If that down happened a second earlier, that generator might have not been complete. If let's say at the locker there at the main building, if that locker grab happened like a couple seconds later, then boom, that generator would be done. There's so much things in Dead by Daylight where it's all revolving around time, and man, that was just peak performance there that allows Effigy to get the win. Going for the hook onto Myers was, unbeknownst to our Wraith at the time, the major mistake that allowed the fourth and final needed generator for Effigy to become complete.
And keep in mind, guys, it's not over yet. We'll double check the builds, see if there is another mistake from Renegade's team, or I'm sorry, Effigy's survivor team. We'll double check everything, because if there is one, that'll be a half hook penalty for them, and we will have a tie. So Furious and Ambassadors, double check the builds for me. Make sure they are good to go against Wraith with these builds. If they are good, then our winner will be Effigy. But man, did it come down to just a second. Came down to one second of a body block. That was absolutely insane.
And a really good body block too by Lara here. That was a lovely body block. I loved to see that. I saw the vision quite immediately as soon as that body block happened. That generator was right there to completion, and it definitely just got done by Lara's help there. Holy, very close game. That was to the wire, man.
That was insane. So Furious, so they are good to go. So it looks like Effigy, by just half a hook stage, is gonna move on to the next round. That is absolutely wild. Oh my goodness, guys. I hope we see a lot more games like that going forward. Renegade, thank you so much for being part of the tournament. You guys are awesome. Effigy, you will be going against Mirage in a couple games. We're gonna go ahead and show you real quick, everybody, so you guys are all aware of what's going on here. So this is where we are. We're in the bottom brackets here. Hysteric was gone, so Mirage moved on since they weren't able to show up. And Mirage and the winner down here, Effigy, by 1 second of play, moves on to the next round. So it'll be Mirage versus Effigy a little bit later today. Next up is going to be Locker Gremlins versus Scarlet Hedgies. Locker Gremlins, you are the top seed, so you get to decide the one or the rocket ship. So if you want to let me know, we'll go ahead and flip that. coin so we can decide who's going to be the first killer. And then after that is Nox's versus Soma Soup Ooh Woo. You guys are taking the rocket ship? All right, let's see what we get here. Always bet on the rocket ship.
Rocket ship. Rocket ship. Rocket ship.
Rocket ship! All right, Jen.
Yeah!
With the locker gremlins, what are you guys doing? Are you guys going to be killer first or survivor first? Killer first. All right. Jen, I assume you are the killer for that. So go ahead and invite me to your party. I'm resetting everything, getting that set up. In the meantime, guys, we do have a special guest commentator coming in for this round with Nugs. Their name is Sora. Welcome in, Sora. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well, man. Recent matches have shown that many runs are definitely possible here, but this time we will be seeing our new teams come out and hopefully some more exciting sets.
All right, and we got a, if I believe I'm correct, this is the double Sadako matchup. What do you guys expect to see from a double Sadako matchup?
Well, I am actually very excited to see these Sadako matches. Sadako is actually one of my favorite killers to play with. Also, a lot of counterplay as well. We will, and you said it was mirror match, so that will definitely be very interesting, as Sadako is actually not really used a lot in comps, so definitely rare to see some of those being played, but it just all comes down to how much they can manage their condemn stacks. Hopefully we won't be seeing like a condemn kills at 5 gens and just not getting rolled completely.
On my behalf, though, seeing the map being Midwich Elementary School, you can have TVs on the first floor condemn you when you're on the second floor. So even if you're trying to manage as much as you can, it is possible that you could just make that slight mistake without realizing that you're walking into a TV range from the opposite floor and get that final stack of condemn to get you killed. We'll see if we see that. I'd like to see a condemn Mori. Hey, I think that's worth cool points. Me personally.
Real quick before we jump into the match, Sora, do you want to introduce yourself to everybody? People that don't know you.
Hello, I am Sora. I've been playing comp for about 2 years. I used to play comp back in 2021, but I later on a different name, but I later then quit. I came back recently around November of 2023, whenever I started playing on my first team coming back, and I've been on some later teams, then left some teams, and now I'm here with my new team, Gamblers, and yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. So how does it feel to not take a shower for 2 years of comp?
Okay, listen. All right. Okay. So, well,
You've
there
been
was
comp longer than I've played DBD. Jesus.
Yes, and there is a little weird fact for 2021. So so as of right now, I am 16, which shows that I played comp in 2021. So if you do some math, there is definitely some weird stuff going on here, but that's not what the point of this is. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't do math around here, all right? Cue that math meme where that chick is like just staring off and all the math symbols are popping up, right?
Most definitely.
So, have you caught some of the matches so far, Sora? What are your thought process on what we've seen so far in the tournament?
Definitely some crazy matchups here. I was expecting a lot from our recent match, Renegade versus Effigy, but basically that crazy second differential definitely introduced a lot. Shows how much like one mistake can definitely cause you, and also if that penalty wasn't there, we would have had that tiebreaker 1v1, I believe. So definitely goes to show how one penalty or one mistake can definitely affect your entire match.
The fact that the body block bought the 1 second they needed, like how exciting is that? Like when I'm playing in pubs, like for us, the things like getting a CJ tech or like a locker CJ, you know, like that's what we're like, oh my god, look at that. But like I feel like that moment was probably one of the craziest moments in the tournament so far, was just that 1 second right there that changed the whole tournament.
Most definitely. Time is definitely a big thing in comp DVD. Trying to buy as much time as possible to pop your gens for especially your win con as well, and that was just exactly what they needed.
is everything. And now we're here. We're in school. Guys, sit down, get your notebooks. We're here to learn, I think. Are we here to learn or are we here to evade a killer?
A little of both.
Yeah, I'm sure we can do both. Multitasking, am I right? I can't do that
Yes,
for shit.
yes. But we will be seeing our Onryo spawn in on the Midwich Elementary School, trying to look for our generators here. But also, I do want to already add on something. We see no generator blocking, so that does mean that there is no corrupt intervention as we see. But we will already be seeing our TVs turning on, which means we will be seeing the first teleport, which 3 survivors have actually already gotten condemned stacks, and we do see all survivors have at least 1 or more condemned stacks, finding our Kate here and just trying to hopefully get a fast chase here.
Yep, our Onryo immediately teleporting to try and get those condemned stacks going up and building that kind of passive pressure, so to say, to force survivors to run around with tapes, put them away, get those condemned stacks back to 0. We see our Kate go down and our Sadako expecting a pallet save to happen, in which no one is unfortunately there for the pallet save. Would have been loved to see that early on, help that early game out so much.
Most definitely, and we do actually see our first hook coming into the game, and we will actually probably be seeing audio teleport to one of our generators, which we do to the music room. But we will already be seeing a first gen getting completed. Kind of equal start out from both teams. You know, having that first chase be somewhat quick, but also wasting that little bit of time trying to check for someone on that pallet save. Definitely bought enough time for that gen to pop as well. But we will be seeing our teleport back to around where the hook was, maybe trying to figure out where that tunnel out is. And we're just going to try to commit to that as fast as possible, as Onryo, as of like chase killer and much of that, is actually probably one of the weakest killers in the game. So trying to get that tunnel out is definitely something here.
Yep, we see a little with action happen, but without avail. The Kate does eventually get back onto the ground, ran into the Onryo, as Onryo's a little bit unpredictable. If you don't know where those TVs are, you might not know where she is coming from, in which that played into our Onryo's favor, allowing our Onryo to get that down onto an unsuspecting Kate, thinking that she was coming from behind her, but that was not the case there. We have her hit onto Nancy, already taking another chase here, and we see Jade circle appear white. The tape is now gone. That means that 3 condemned stacks are gone, going to be putting that tape away. Teleporting away from this chase, however, going to be trying to go back to hook once more. We've seen it a bunch. Our Onryo wants this Kate out of the game as fast as possible. We see them resetting in courtyard, and our Onryo, unsuspecting of this, allowing that reset to happen, losing that tunnel out.
Kind of unfortunate to be trying to waste this much time trying to look for the tunnel out, but it does seem that we are going to be trying to just keep looking on for it, as a 3v1 at 4 gens would be insane for this Onryo. Definitely the kind of start that they need to their 3v1 as well, but also at this point as well, you do have to consider the fact that as you are Death Hook, you do not need to worry about the condemned stacks, as even like putting in condemned stacks, you are eventually going to die from a hook or a Mori. It doesn't really matter. But actually, hold on, we do see a crazy chase coming in very early down, and I believe that we just saw chase start onto Arcade. So if we know where our tunnel out is, and they actually do keep in mind of that, that can actually be horrible for our survivors here.
This was chase onto our Ada, unfortunately not the Kate. Just on with those obsession spike marks there, being able to see that it was the Ada, that little finding that survivor, and that is going to be full condemn onto our Nancy here. Nancy now in some trouble, needs to just trade a hook state in order to not die if we do find her after that killer instinct. Instead gonna be finding our Kate, who is on Death Hook, but gonna be leaving, going after Jade and Ada, the rescuer of our Jill here. Definitely going to be a unique choice. Getting those injuries, spreading those injuries, just making that pressure go wide. We teleport onto Kate, and that is going to be Kate down and out of the game if we can find a hook here nearby.
Most definitely. A tunnel out of 3 gens could have been quicker, but an interesting play from our killer here as well, as they left Kate randomly to go spread more injures. But I mean, in the end, they still got it, as we still have our Nancy here, who actually is still at full condemn stack. So hopefully they can probably get a tape in, but we will actually be finding our reset here and trying to go for maybe for our Ada, but there will be a hit take coming in for the Nancy. He can honestly commit to our Nancy here to try to get the condemn kill. So it would be a 2v1 at 3 gens. And this is really bad for the survivors here.
Yeah, finding the Nancy was so good for our Onryo. Nancy did not want to be found at all. Likely going to be getting this stun and W keying towards that TV there, right below her, and gonna be TPing. We'll see if we cut off this Nancy successfully. Not going to successfully cut off. Nancy reads this and is now hopefully trying to W key towards her tape where she can put it in and not die immediately.
Honestly, the best that we can hope for here, but we do see a teleport trying to cut off our Nancy, and honestly, we might be actually seeing a down take for our Ada here, trying to make sure that this Nancy can actually reach their TV in time. But the nearby TV actually shows that it is still active, so they can honestly just teleport to this, keep on cutting off our Nancy here, and maybe this might just be even worse than it was.
With that TP, though, we didn't find Nancy. We instead found Jill, who had recently popped the library generator. Nancy had double backed towards Ada to go and pick her up, in which we do see that now we are rotating back towards where Ada was and going to be teleporting right here in the McDonald's room, as I like to say. And now Ada is also fully condemned, going to be getting the pallet stun onto our Onryo. These survivors are just in such a tough position. They have so much pressure applied to them. Nancy here needs to put her tape away relatively soon, hopefully, so then they can no longer be worried off rip. And unfortunately for our Ada, though, cannot find the TV in time to put away, and that will be Ada getting stared down to death.
Very unfortunate here, but we will actually be just seeing a condemn kill onto Ada instead of our Nancy. So, and actually we see another fully condemn onto our Jill this time, and we do see that Nancy actually put in her TV, so no more fully condemned, so that's good. But there is one other survivor that they have to worry about.
Yep, now our Jill, who was at that TV there, trying to put her TV inside of that tape, but Jen just able to teleport to that TV and spot that out. Going to be getting another condemn kill. I was expecting 1 condemn kill, 2 not on my radar. Very, very fun to see here. And now it's hatch time. We do not have a way to have hatch on, so it is at random. And we did just see there, our Nancy found the hatch, so now our survivor team can pop 3 gens, and it's not over yet.
So, just for chat, so you guys are aware, the condemn itself is worth full hook points. So the score that we have for our Onryo is 3 gens got completed, and as he got out without getting hooked at all because of hatch, so they got a total of 9 regular hooks and 3 fresh hooks. And ambassadors, double check, make sure that that is correct. I believe that is the correct score. Welcome in, Fiery. All right, let's double check the perks while we're confirming with the ambassadors that that is the correct score. Dance with me. Everything looks good. What'd you guys think of that Onryo matchup?
2 condemn kills is never what you would normally see in a comp setting. You would probably only see like 1 to 0, but most likely it was just these survivors were playing less around condemn, more around gens, and they definitely got cucked for it.
Yeah, they definitely made those mistakes that allowed them to get condemned, not really playing their tapes as effectively as you'd like, but that did result in our killer getting those condemned kills, allowing that Nancy to get fully condemned, allowing Ada and Jill to get fully condemned. Uh, but we do have a mirrored Onryo set. We can see if our Onryo can put on that same performance. Nancy getting that hatch at a fresh hook does allow for a rather unique win condition where our killer can let 3 generators pop our first win condition and still be fine to get all 4 kills because that Nancy got hatch very much in uh, our killer's favor here. What do you think, Sora?
Definitely interesting win con. Normally never see like a hatch escape from like at 2 gens left. Normally you would see hatch get closed, but due to RNG hatch that did allow the escape, so you could definitely be seeing Onryo trying to maybe play for the fact that maybe they're not gonna get a 4K at like 3 gens, 4 gens, not even 5 gens, and instead maybe trying to go for like a snowball at 2 gens.
Yeah, that hatch escape does allow for so much more to happen that allows them to uh, release some of that stress. You don't need a 4K3, you don't need a 4K4. You are completely fine with a 4K2, and there's none other to thank than your favorite Nancy there to escape through that hatch. Very lucky on our survivor team side, the Locker Gremlins. Or not the Locker Gremlins, the Scarlet Hedgies. It is Scarlet Hedgies on the killer now. That we are going to be seeing, which is still the Onryo. Gotta love a mirrored set.
Most definitely. And Onryo, my favorite killer, having to see these both matches be played is definitely rare as well. So
Yeah, but who knows?
And here we
We could
go.
see some more mirrored sets. And we're now loading into our game here. Gonna be game 2 for these guys. They know their win condition, they know what they gotta do, and they know they gotta do it well. We shall see if our killer can meet this win con to move on, or if the survivors can meet this win condition to move on forward to the next round.
All right, and next up is going to be after this match is Nox's versus Soma Soup Uwu. So the Noxes, you are the top of the bracket seed for that. So let me know if you want the coin or the rocket ship for your flip when you guys are ready.
Ooh, you totally want the rocket ship.
Always got to do the
check.
rocket ship.
Absolutely.
Welcome in, Cass. How you doing today?
Whoop, whoop.
All right, let's take a look at our ping. Make sure it's decent. It is under 200, so it's acceptable. And here we go. And it is
And
the wrong map. We need to DC.
Unfortunate there we see that we've loaded into the Raccoon City police station instead of Midwich Elementary School.
Oh, please
So
make sure to set the map correctly. Otherwise, we will have to make a penalty. Thank you, sir.
there we go.
We got a quick reset, so it's all good. We won't have a penalty for that now. We got it set correctly. We should be good. It happens, Ascend. No worries, brother. We got it rectified really quick.
I've had enough police training in my time. I'd like to go and learn at the Midwich Elementary School. You know, you feel me? I gotta learn. We all gotta learn. We gotta get that knowledge up.
All right, let's try it one more time. So, what are you thinking if you're this Sadako? Are you thinking you want to do the slug out quickly, or are you just vibing to Katy Perry? What's your thought process?
Um,
Both.
Definitely trying to go for like a more snowball, maybe trying to play a little bit more aggressive at the start, maybe trying to actually bring corrupt like unlike our killer did last time, so that we can't instantly get that generator progress, but it all just comes down to how both teams play.
Yep, absolutely. This Onryo here definitely wants to play more so into our survivors' mistakes because that is what allowed our previous Onryo to uh I would say 4K, but Nancy got hatched, so more so 3K at two generators remaining, being able to take advantage of uh those mistakes that the survivors made. That's what we want to see from this Unreal, being able to take advantage of potential mistakes that survivors make. So we'll see if the survivors make the mistakes. It's more so the uh, survivor's side here that can determine whether this win con will be met or not.
Most definitely, and we already do see our first stage happening on Tamiya, trying to delay as much as possible, but unfortunately getting zoned away from the pallet, and that will be a down of 5 gens. However, there is no condemned stacks, and all of our survivors that were not in chase actually managed to grab a tape in time. So, actually kind of a decent start for our survivors more than our killer, although getting that our first down pretty quickly. There will be not much TVs that you can teleport to now.
Yep, our survivors, all three other survivors have grabbed a tape, disabling three whole TVs. For those that don't know how Onryo's Condemn works, it's a little bit weird. It took me a very long time and learned the hard way, as a matter of fact, to learn how these condemns work. Thank you, Sora, disrespectfully. But basically, if you're near an on TV, then that an on TV within 16 meters, I believe, you will gain a stack once the Unreal teleports. That's why you want TVs off all the time. That's even with a tape, by the way. Even with a tape, you gain those stacks if the TV is on. So you always want to be turning off those TVs, especially if you're on a tape run, so to say, taking one tape from one TV to another. That's basically the gist of it there. And we also see some windows that are highlighted with a yellow aura. Why is that, Sora?
Well, that is actually because of our perk. I don't actually remember this perk name, but it does actually, I believe it blocks all windows once a generator is completed. I've never seen this perk used in comp, so I don't really know the full function of it, but yeah.
Yep, you're correct there. For 30 seconds after a generator is done, cruel limits will block every window there is on the map, allowing for the killer to not have survivors be able to use resources, especially with those god windows on the Midwich Elementary. And we do see our third generator does get finished here. Our Sadako will need to start spreading some pressure soon.
Most definitely, and if not, we will be seeing that other chunk get completed, which means that that win con is met. But for now, we just have to ask for a really quick snowball and a recent down onto our Dwight here. Shows that there is something coming in, and that is a fresh look as well. So maybe we this is what we needed.
Yep, maybe this is exactly what our killer is starting to get the groove in for, starting to get those downs using our M1s, knocking them on the floor, making them ask for help, be like, "Oh, I'll give you help," and then hook them, take them to the Elder God. You know what I'm saying? We are following an injured survivor, however, our Jake, redacted. Not that I can't say it. That's his name. uh, going to be taking this chase over into the library. We're going to be reading today, folks. Today we're going to be reading To Kill a Mockingbird. Hopefully you guys have heard of that. It's very famous. A lot of schools force you to read it in the later grades. And we do see that down happen.
Most definitely. And actually earlier we saw that there was an unhook here, so that does mean that 3 people were not on gens for that time, so we might see a little bit of slowdown in progress here. And that gen does block, which means that we could be seeing a repressed alliance from our survivors here. And getting this tag onto our Nia and a unhook here. And we do see 3 survivors trying to maybe go for a double reset, but finding that instantly. This might actually be what our killer here needs to meet this win con.
Yep, our killer's definitely looking for this. They want that 3v1 very quickly. That's pretty much what happened in our previous game. The 3v1 happened quickly, and that got to Snowball. Oh.
Hitting the wall like that with the auto aim is horrible. They just got
That's why I love
chipped.
auto wave. Good old behavior. That's so unfortunate there. But either way, Jake will be going down. And onto his second hook he goes. This is going to be hook number 2, one more, and that will be the 3v1 starting to occur, which is exactly what our killer currently needs.
Most definitely. And as we teleport here, we actually do catch our Nia off guard, trying to go for this unhook, but stopping it just in time as they can rotate for it. Keep in mind, last game, I believe our 3v1 was actually pretty quick at 3 gens, and hopefully our killer can try to catch up the pace here as we are trying to chase our Nia here and actually winning a 50. I believe that was a fast vault with quick and quiet. If not, then it was just a bug from the silent vault. And we will be seeing a trade onto our Jake here, maybe trying to go for a tunnel out. And we do see the manifest, manifest come on, and we actually will be a down onto our Nia. Kind of interesting that we are not going for our Jake here, but maybe that's what they're trying to do, is just trying to get as much slugs as possible. And there was a generator that was regressing, and it wasn't because of eruption after the down proc. It was actually surge, I believe. And getting that another gen block from Repressed Alliance, committing to this ace, actually maybe trying to even go for more of a snowball as well, and hopefully just trying to get more snowball.
Going to be going for a TP play, trying to block the Ace's path, but Ace is able to read it just in time. Gonna be allowing our Onryo to swing and whiff. That is 2 condemns in 1. That is what I'm talking about with TVs being able to hit through multiple floors. And we do find one of our fully condemned survivors. Oh, our Dwight here running towards the TV. They are looking to try and put their tape in, I believe, but they did not realize that they were going in through the wrong direction. That breakable wall is not gone, and this should be our Dwight now going to be dead.
Most
No.
definitely. And as we saw, well, actually, no, not recently. Trying to actually go for another down here, but as of now, our win con was just met, so that will unfortunately mean that Scarlet Hedgies is eliminated from the tournament, I believe, and that will be Locker Gremlins moving on to the next round.
Yep, these survivors did play nice and well enough to be able to get all 5 of these generators complete. Our downed, fully condemned survivor still slugged on the floor, and it looks like we will be getting that condemned Mori. Our ace here is at 6 stacks, so I'm not sure if they'd want to stay. They might want to take their outs. They managed to pick up Dwight. So no, we were not going to be seeing that condemned Mori. Dwight was able to crawl, get picked up, and now they are healing, going to be trying to get out of the trial, and a whiff occurs onto Nia. Our other survivors are at the other gate, and we'll see if our Onryo does go for these survivors. The secret room is open. Maybe someone might want to take a peek.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
you never know.
we will actually be seeing our other survivors take the lead throughout the other gate, and I believe that means it will be. Oh, okay, never mind. We will be seeing a 1 kill at 6 stages, I believe. Um, although an average result for Onryo, unfortunately not enough to meet the win time, as I said before. So.
We do see our finisher Mori. Might not be able to get that condemned Mori, but we get to use our mind and break some bones, break some arms, break some legs, stare at them, and let them die.
GG's to everybody. That was a really interesting matchup. The score was all over the place. Almost the entire tournament, we saw 12 hooks across the board, and we did not see that today with our matchup with the Sadakos. But you guys all did really well. You guys should be proud of yourself, Scarlet Hedgies. You guys were awesome. Locker Gremlins, you are going to be moving on to the next round. So GG's everybody. Yep. I appreciate you guys. Can we get a W in the chat for our Scarlet Hedgies? They did great. We definitely appreciate you guys.
W. W.
All right, so we're going to be moving on to the next round. I appreciate you guys. And real quick, let me take a look at something here. Our Team Nox's, I don't think we've heard anything from them. We have not. So they haven't communicated with us at all. So it looks like that they are going to take another loss for this round. So we're going to go ahead and put that in there. Soma Soup, are you there? Let's take a look at the setup of what we have right now, guys. So we had Mirage go past Hysteric. We had Effigy go past Renegade. So next up will be Mirage versus Effigy. Because a team did drop out, or 2 teams did, we are super far ahead of schedule. So we will give you some time to get ready. Mirage versus Effigy. Mirage, you are the top seed. So go ahead and let me know if you want the 1 or the rocket ship. And we will go ahead and flip that coin. Then that's going to be followed up by Locker Gremlins versus Soma Soup Uwu. And that will be our matchups for this tournament. The winners of today, of day 2, the winners of these 2 rounds will move on to next Friday. So if you win your matchup, you will be playing next Friday. And Space Frog says they want the rocket. Everybody wants the rocket. You always want the rocket, right? Let's go ahead and do it. Let's flip the coin. Sad Alien Sushi, thank you for the follow. And we get a 1. So Effigy, you guys go ahead and decide if you want to be killer or survivor first. And let us know. In the meantime, we are switching commentators for the next round. We do have a new voice. Some of you know him, some of you love him, some of you hate him. His name, he's known by many things. It is either Walker if you're in this community, or if you're in the comp community, it's Spectral. And if you're in the other communities, it is Daddy. He is here. How is it? How you doing today, Walker?
Honestly, man, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm very tired, very depressed, but you know, now I'm gotta be on the mic, so we're gonna ramp ourselves up here as we're actually gonna be seeing some pretty interesting matches ahead of us, including some very interesting sets as well. It's not something that you do see, especially in my line of work, where I cast directly for the comp scene. Not many of these sets actually seen around much, so really happy to see a lot of variety and super excited to see what strategies people have in store for us.
For those of you who don't know, or for the people that don't know you, Walker, tell us a little bit about you.
Well, hi, my name is Walker, also known as Spectral, mainly in the comp scene. I am a comp player indefinitely, but mainly known as a caster. Now, for my time in the comp scene, I have played for some-ish prestigious teams. I've played for Anguish alike. I've played for Instant Dodge. I've played for Origin. I've played for a handful of teams. A lot, too many to mention. But I've made my mark I've done a lot of things. I have practiced the game a lot, and I would call myself a pretty solid player. But my time mainly was used to focus on my casting, which I've casted for many leagues before: arcade, DVD League, so on and so forth. Just a lot to mention, and a lot of experience in that typical work. Super excited to see exactly how I'm gonna fare in something like this, because I'm not gonna lie to you, Thunder. There's not gonna be many, or no, there's gonna be a lot of variety in gameplay styles and all of this. So super excited to see how everything's gonna end off. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. And for this matchup, this is going to be really interesting. We got a Dredge, and then for that should be our killer currently, because Effigy said they wanted to kill first. And then for Mirage, our next one will be Chucky. That'll be our first Chucky of the tournament. What do you?
That's actually really scary. No lie. Expecting, I think the Chucky might definitely win. It's all a whole lot of variety, and actually the difference in, let's say, RNG, because now if we're talking Dredge, there could be a super powerful 3-gen, which I'm not going to lie, in all the Dredge games that I've seen so far, we haven't seen utilization of practice, or of like camping out a 3-gen, or just trying to hold the game a little bit hostage until they're able to gain ground, because after all, Dredge is a very slow killer. That is exactly how you need to play these Dredge sets. You need to play just long enough for these survivors to be able to make at least a big enough mistake for you to grab a bunch of ground on top of them. Many players, most notably Bubbazover, who was known as one of the best Dredges in the entire comp scene, also an extremely good Spirit player, one of the best, literally. But he has been able to hold around like a 3-gen for around, I think it was 5 minutes. And with that alone, the team started to make these small little mistakes that gave him enough ground to quickly grab that 4K. So super excited to see that. But also Chucky. Chucky is not only a killer that is better by definition, but now there's a lot of variety in how these teams are going to be able to respond to it. Because, I mean, even you yourself, Thunder, you could probably agree with me that maybe somebody's going to be a lot better at looping a Dredge compared to a Chucky.
Yeah,
And
completely
the other way
different
around.
skill sets for
Yeah.
looping them. Like, the way that I like to loop a Chucky is like a little combination of Blight versus, or not Blight, I'm sorry, Wesker versus Alien kind of mentality when I'm looping them. I want to stay away from the pallets as much as I can, and I want to expect the slice and dice to be coming in. So I'm looping them from a different angle, whereas Dredge, the way I'm looping them, and again, this is all pub mindset, right? The way that I'm looping Dredge is I'm expecting him to use his power mid-loop to control the loop. So I'm looking to W key to the next loop the second he messes up, right? And I don't want to quite round the loop too much to where they're able to teleport to the other side to their little image and get that free tag on me. So I'm kind of treating the Dredge more of like a clown mixed with artist when I'm looping them, as opposed to, you know, what we're doing with Chucky. So completely different.
Yeah.
I could be completely wrong on how you do it with comp, but that's how I picture it when I'm going against them.
Well, we did end up now loading into our match. We're going to quickly check out some last few things, including the ping, to see exactly how this is going to work out for us. Huge decider right now. Also, that is cool that they had a skin named after Eddie, but instead of just naming it the Dredge. But it seems like now we're going to be loading into our match with the Fateful Dredge. Actually going to be taking an incredibly early tag on towards our survivor here now. They are going to be making their way forward and keeping their distance, of course, to not grab or have an early chase indeed. Going to be taking it over towards the courtyard. Nothing seen just yet. Seems like maybe a few mind games might be coming through here just to try and grab the distance on top of that survivor. But right now, that's going to be the vault in front of the killer. Unfortunately, not going to be the down just yet, but we're moving around the back. We're not going to make anything much here. So now this is going to be a very quick down, not being able to make it over towards any useful resources to be able to keep them alive. So this is going to be the first look of the game for our killer here.
Real quick, mods, can somebody put up a prediction for this round, please? We didn't get a prediction up.
Quite difficult to see some of these names, no lie. interrupting a gen here. Now going to be in piano room, chasing after the Ada, it seems, as Ada is going to be moving in towards the red room, quickly dropping down. No perks to help them out at all, so that is going to be a tag. Remember that we are not going to be allowed much versus a dredge, I believe. So, no, we are actually allowed a balance. I just don't think that was the player that had it. Breaking this door here, keeping himself around the hook, trying to grab as much progress on this hook state as possible, because remember, 4%ing is not allowed. So you can fully camp out towards the second stage, which is a very useful strategy, mind you. Finding a quickly locked blocker, that is one of the final ones in this area. Now going to be catching onto the survivor once again. That is going to be the Ada. Ada's not going to be dropping down this time. Instead, going to be moving over towards actual resources that they're going to be able to use. Quickly vaulting there, popping out, grabbing a lot of distance on top of the survivor, running into the kill. It's going to be another down. Insane. Little locker play, as now we're actually going to be going over towards the hook as close as we can to now see if we can maybe get the tunnel out. We do have a slug on the floor. That's also useful for us. Quick tag onto them. That's going to be the sloppy butcher onto the ace. Still chasing after the tunnel out right now. Going upstairs, quickly grabbing another teleport right next to the serve. That is going to be the down, as unfortunately they are not going to have BT or any other resource to help them out into this incredibly dire situation. That's going to be the first end of the game, as well as it seems like maybe moving over towards the down survivor is also going to be a big play here. Oh, and even better, we do know where the survivors are. We're going to be grabbing another hook here, it seems. And that's this. I don't know, man. The surf side is not looking too bright right now. Chasing an injured survivor, leaving the Atom to be the only healthy person alive. Going towards the wrong lockers, but it seems like that's going to be enough distance to grab, and I think the dredge is going to be happy with that. Running around the long side of the loop. They just respected an invisible pallet. Oh, bit of a misplay there from the ace, but the ace is going to at least grab the stun and waste enough time for them to be able to grab this very fast save. Very close by, quickly teleporting over. It seems like we're going to be chasing over our healthy survivor, which is also, honestly, something I would do in this case, since we do not have any way for them to quickly reset, and the person is about to die here very soon. In fact, that actually was not that person at all. I would just stand in front of the door here to, of course, confirm the kill, because we only know that that survivor is going to be close by, but it seems like we're not going to be standing there. Instead, we're going to be risking them being able to grab the save, which they do end up going for it and actually end up getting it off. I feel like that would be a slight bit of a mistake, but not the end of the world. They do have a super large amount of pressure on the survivor team, exactly, so they are going to have to try and recover from this, which is going to give the dredge enough time to potentially get the quick down here. Not going to completely run it through. They are also going to respect it, so that is going to be a bit of a bad state. Stuck into a horrible 50-50. It seems like the teleport is going to be coming through. Swings for it and ends up getting the down. That's going to be the surge, working as well overtime to quickly reduce that gen and also interrupt the survivor that was working on it. So we are going to know which one of the gens to at least go to. Quick little guess made, as it seems like we're going to be moving over towards the corner of the map instead. Ada working a gen here, checking on top of our ace as well as he's rotating. That's our dead serve, and it seems like Adam is just going to be stealthing out in courtyard. A very smart decision, but it seems like Ada now is going to be the focus of this chase. Now it seems like we are going to be seeing a very smart W key here, not deciding to play the loop, which is exactly what you're supposed to do in this type of situation. Again,
Unfortunately, that pallet was already used
Yeah.
earlier. So
Yeah.
W keyed to a broken loop. That's why I love Windows of Opportunity.
Oh man, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Sometimes it's just small pathing mistakes that do end up making these chases shorter. There's a lot of walls and a lot of decisions that you need to make, but you can't learn that instantly. You always have to do everything with a lot of time. No one is good at this game instantly. Because you need to be in that situation multiple times, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. You need the hours.
Unless you're like me. Ooh. Not running towards that library is going to be the 4K4. Honestly, one of the most perfect utilizations of Dredge I've seen so far in this tournament as a whole.
This is a scary dredge.
Yeah, that was a super good Dredge. Very happy that we didn't have to face that, because that would have required a lot more synergy on our end.
Now they gotta find Dr. Minty.
Which right now is actually going to be a big liability for our dredge here, as he's going to be able to lose. I think that's Oh my god. That's an entire fresh hook.
It's a fresh hook, yeah.
Yeah,
They
you're gonna be
need to
losing
find
all of
Minty.
those points. It is 50%, so there is roughly around a minute and a half left to be able to find said survivor. But it seems like checking in the spots that we have already checked before is not going to help us out here. We need... Oh my god, it doesn't help that they're an ace too.
Yes,
Aces are naturally
built-in
a
iron
very
will.
quiet, yeah, very natural, quiet survivor. That is so cool that you could just go into a locker. Actually using the lockers to their advantage to quickly search, go inside, and use the killer instinct to quickly find the survivor, but it seems like they're not going to find them in courtyard at all and are maybe waiting for movement. Oh, they're deciding to play patient, going around the lockers to try and get here. And 100%, please do not, and I mean do not let go of the hook just yet. There's still enough time on the clock for
Oh, they're probably
the
waiting for nightfall, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they let go. I feel like that's a mistake. It really depends. This is going to be close now. I do know most rules do state that dying by the entity and endgame collapse does count as the stages, since it is technically among the entities rule.
Yeah,
but,
it counts as a hook.
yeah.
So they're at 9 hooks. We're looking for that fresh hook.
Yeah, but it seems like they're not going to be finding the hatch instantly. Oh, I would 100% check basement here. Basement is a very good hiding spot for a lot of survivors. Unfortunately, on this map, I don't think it's too useful. But no, they're not going to be checking basement. That might be a fatal mistake. In a second here, before the survivor bleeds out, I do want to see exactly where they were hidden in case we are unable to find them. They could also be hidden in that stairway, or that little opening in the stairway. Oh my god, they were legitimately right there. Wait, it's not the end. Oh, but unfortunately, they are going to be bleeding out, and that is going to be a 4K 9 stages, a incredible result at 4 gens, mind you. So I'm pretty sure just popping I mean, 2 gens would be win condition normally, but I think 3 or just popping 4 gens or just getting the best result you can is honestly a really good play here. Intense build and a super dangerous dredge. I mean, Thunder, what do you think of that?
That was an insane dredge play. That was scary. I would not ever want to go against that. But yeah, the rules for this tournament is if you bleed somebody out, you do get 2 hook stages. You do not get the death hook stage, and you do not get the fresh hook stage. So it will be a total of 11 hooks and 3 fresh is what they're going to get. So basically, if they allow 1 gen but they get all 12 hooks, then our Chucky will win. If they allow 2, then, you know, they lost at 2. So that's insane to have to hold down a whole lobby literally at 1 gen. Yeah, that was a rough, crazy game, but you guys got this. It is your killer's turn, Space Frog. So go ahead and jump on in with us. Send the invite with your Chucky when you are ready. All right, what are you thinking if you're this Chucky?
Well, honestly, man, I'm gonna say this respectfully. If I was just Chucky, I would be cooked. 4K5 is an incredibly intense result for someone, especially like Chucky, where, I mean, man, Chucky is not a crazy snowball killer. After all, we're talking about somebody that has just a rush ability and an undetectable, just a ghost face without a insta-down. There's not much to do here. We are gonna have to see maybe potentially an infectious fright play, maybe ruin as well. There's a lot that has to happen in a short amount of time. I mean, popping 2 gens is basically like it's just over for them. I'm trying to think. What could we run here on these builds to definitely make it? So Corrupt is 100% one of them. You are a generally slow killer. You are an M1 killer. And near the beginning of the game, running Corrupt is going to be good enough and force the survivors to typically run into you, giving you enough time to find pressure, chase, and hopefully get a quick enough chase to be able to grab. I think maybe Pain Res could also be a play, but you're definitely going to have to go for more slug than actual hook and not lose it all.
Good question in chat. So the killer that is coming up next is Mirage's killer. So the team on the left there, that is Mirage. Their survivor group already went because they have that gen set, that number there of 1. So it is Effigy's survivor group. If they get 2 gens done, they win. If they only get 1 done and Mirage's killer, the team on the left, if that killer gets all 12 hooks, then they win the game. So that bleed out where they couldn't find the ace at the end of the last match could be the deciding factor if our Chucky could really lock down these gens.
Ooh. No lie, this is not going to be... I don't know if this is actually even going to be a blowout. I feel like a 4K is still possible here. Even if they do end up, like,
And Chucky's
losing,
on Cold Tower 1.
Yeah. Okay, wait, that does make this slightly more possible. Definitely an infectious build, I think, would be in tow. It's a small map relatively, and you're going to have to play chokes a lot harder and play around potentially getting a 4K5, which is also going to mean that these survivors are going to have to make quite a few mistakes.
All right, next up is Locker Gremlins versus Soma Soup Uwu. Make sure you guys are getting ready for that. Let me know coin or the rocket ship, and we can get that going. That is Locker Gremlins. You get to decide coin or the 1 or the rocket ship. The 1 or the rocket ship. Let me know, guys.
Ooh. Fire ship.
Oh, it's a rocket ship.
No, it's a fire ship. According to the almighty Thundergun 86.
I'm Thundergun 86. What?
You said that. You think I made that up?
You're making it up.
No, everyone here, every OG here remembers that you said fire ship once. And that is permanently what it is going to be. Yeah, okay. I see you. I see you in chat, Jesus.
Yeah, chat's on my side.
Yeah. Jesus, more like bad at the game. My bad. That was rude.
Oh, we'll find out. You guys are going against each other next week. Next Friday. We can settle it then.
Yeah.
Gamblers versus Suffocate. Jesus versus Walker No Mercy. That's going to be an interesting showdown. Locker Gremlins. Are you there?
Sounds like you're saying Walker Gremlins, bro.
Walker? You're just so obsessed with your name.
Dude, no, I swear to God, it's Thunder's fault. He's saying it like that.
Okay, set it up. Make sure it's Cold Tower 1 and our killer. Once you're ready, go ahead and ready up. We'll just have to wait on Locker Gremlins for the next match. And remember, guys, what's going to happen here is we'll do this set. We'll do the next set. We'll do a wrap-up. And then we'll move on to Power Hour. And we'll move on to regular stream. Because we're not doing the whole tournament today. We're not going to overload you guys with tournament stuff. So we got it all spread out a little bit. Next Friday will be 4 games. And then the following Saturday will be 5 or 6 games, depending on if the best of 3 finals is pushed to a 3rd game. Or a 3rd set, rather.
Just realized something.
What's that? That you're hungry and you want a Snickers?
Yeah, clearly. Exactly what I was thinking. It's like you know me.
Match details look good. Let's jump on in. Thank God they fixed the fact that all the doors were blocked. Remember that in Cold Tower when they had the patch and all the doors upstairs were blocked? Oh my goodness.
That was so bad. Every single balance player was in shambles. But we're now loading in with the one and only Mirage versus Effigy. Currently going to be Effigy on the Oh, wait, no. Back that was wrong.
That was a really quick tag.
I'm just going to have to get an incredible start here for them to be able to win. They are going to get a very early tag like Thunder did. And eventually get another tag onto Myers, which is going to be exactly enough, maybe a start. But it seems like looking at our build here, we're looking at something quite different than last game. And not anything close to what I was mentioning earlier. But it seems like there is a strategy behind it, so there may be exactly enough for us to actually maybe even have a shot at getting a win.
Maybe. I like what they did here. Plus, with that early tag, that's going to really help them out a lot. They got a lot of early pressure.
2 perks so far. 2 perks so far. Spies from the Shadows and Corrupt Intervention. I don't think the survivors would know exactly that Spies in the Shadows is being safe, but I think it's also a safe assumption. This is a very good match for that very quick tag there on it too.
This Chucky's very good.
Be careful. Where are you shitheads hiding? I love these lines.
And we did see the Gen explode.
Going around. Oh! Insane curve around the rock there. That is going to be... I mean, do we know all 4 perks at this point? Like, he just used every single...
we know them all. I mean, I would definitely kick that Gen, not Shaq. Shaq got a lot of aggression on it. But maybe he's just going to commit to the chase? What's the thought process here? Is just... get as much pressure as you can.
Yeah, figuring out more information about exactly where everybody is. Going to be slicing, dicing over towards the hook. Currently bottom mid, trying to make his way over towards top side, just to grab more information. You need to move around the map while trying to be as oppressive as possible, so you can at least get the result that you wish for. He currently has 2 stages at 5 gens, so he's definitely looking at potentially a tie here. Or actually, no, even a win. Because, like, guys, remember, someone bled out. He can get 4k4, and as long as he gets 1 fresh hook, he has already won for his team. For this to be a tie, it would have to be a 4k4 with somebody fully bled out.
How's the audio sounding now? Is it still glitched? Or did we get that fixed?
No idea.
Oh, keep talking. They said it sounds fine.
Well, yeah, we're finding a little bit of information. You gotta be very careful here, especially at times where you do just genuinely need to kind of focus up for a minute, be quiet, and try to realize exactly. Try to put yourself in the shoes of Chucky. Well, those are some pretty small shoes if you ask me, but like, be finding our wonderful survivor here on the hill. I believe it is going to not be Myers. Instead, it is going to be our lovely mid, who's going to be taking a tag. They're making their way over towards main. Bit of a waste of distance, but they are going to have enough to make the window and so on and so forth. But it seems like they're going around the back thanks to Spies from the Shadows giving us enough information. Ooh, hugging that wall incredibly tightly there, throwing our killer completely off balance. Chucky is going to be breaking main door, and it seems like they are in the wrong spot as they are not chasing the survivor anymore. Instead, they went into main and upstairs. But we are still trailing after someone. That is going to be Myers. Myers taking a tag here is actually going to be really bad. 3 people currently injured. Only 1 survivor left here. An incredibly long slice and dice. Not able to catch on top of that, but he's going to zone him away. Has a pallet to work with. It's very short. Using his mind game, using his size. Swings for it. Ends up swinging short. Insane plays by Myers. A double swing. Wasting even more distance. Quick there as he's going to try and use that. And instantly hugging the wall to grab this down with a slice and dice. Myers is going to go down as the first end of the game is going to be popped. And we have reached our ultimate win condition to where now getting a 4K here is incredibly necessary to be able to give Mirage exactly what they need to move on. They are playing for all the stakes right now. Ooh, very nice swing there on top of Mitch, but Mitch is going to get away, just cutting that corner in time. Of course, using their height once more to get that quick mind game. They do grab a little bit of distance, but they are going to keep using that loop, and it is going to be enough. Ooh, Hattie Ho now going to be coming through, moving into back, going to be using Slice and Dice to quickly grab that tag on to Bink. Insane as Azami is going to be running away scot-free, however, unable to help his teammate. Very, very sad to see that I personally, in that situation, you kind of just need to drop that pallet there or even just take a hit for your fellow survivor, because now a death at 4 gens is going to be a step in the right direction for Mirage to quickly grab this win. Myers is going to be full reset, but from that information alone, we do know that these survivors are not parachuting gens as of right now. A little bit of progress on Shaq. 2 survivors currently unknown, as we only know that they're still topside. We do see Mitch there shortly, and so Myers. Myers is in the very close proximity. And, ooh, we are going to find that survivor there. That's going to be Mitch. Mitch winning the 50-50 there is actually going to be running around the full length of main, just breaking this here to quickly remove any utilization of the distance. As long as he keeps his chases short, as long as he doesn't lose too much pressure on top of the survivors, I actually think that Mirage is going to be able to pull this off. However, a lot of progress on top of this. Heidi Ho is going to be coming through. No survivor seen just yet. Kicking this, applying eruption to it. We do see them around the window of Shaq. Now they're going to be going around. Quick mind game there to try and kill the survivor. Opting to go inside of Shaq instead of running around, which is actually really smart. Not playing anything or leaving anything to chance, especially since the slice and dice is super long. I'm pretty sure that was called out by the survivors because, good lord, I don't understand what's wrong with this Chucky. But those slice and dices, it's like the Chucky's on steroids or something. Flying across the... He's going to be moving over towards the back of this hill here and not finding anyone. Is there even somebody stealthing over here? Let's check. As Chucky is going to be moving on top of the hill. We move on to our survivors. That is going to be Myers. Myers is stealthing around. However, there is not going to be much. And due to the gen spread, there is not going to be much help from any of these survivors either. He's going to have to find someone here very soon. And this is oh no, I just realized an incredible situation for him. If he does end up chasing Mitch here, Mitch is going to be the person with balance. Being able to grab a long enough chase is definitely going to be extremely necessary for these survivors to try and get that gen as Shaq done. It seems like now Risk Factor is going to be moving over towards Shaq to pop this generator again. Oh, but is the zombie going to have enough time? Oh. And I don't know exactly how much of the difference in points that does make, but that is devastating. I feel like even if there was a 4K to happen at 3, I think they clutched it just by like 2-3 points maybe. No lie though, an incredible fight by Risk Factor, keeping himself in there. This Chucky was no joke at all, getting super fast downs, but unfortunately a lot of pressure was lost due to these survivors completely stealthing them out and utilizing a super powerful strategy, an insane swing through the pallet. Myers is going to be taking a tag at the 4 lane, going to be using Heidi Ho to try and set up a slice and dice on top of the survivor once more, dropping another pallet, using it, now going to be moving over towards the window, maybe potentially going to be throwing a mind game here. No, instead we're just going to be moving forward, trying to go around. Insane swing, unable to predict the path of Risk Factor, so that is going to be the down for Mirage once more, grabbing their next hook finally after a good little bit where the survivors were managing to keep themselves out of trouble. But Pop Goes the Weasel is also going to be in play now. Oh, but unfortunately it's not going to be useful to stop gens, and instead it's just going to quickly progress. There's an insane amount of progress on almost every single gen currently present. Finding a survivor now, slice and dice, going to be going around the hook, trying to go around that tree right there. The stump ended up getting in their way, sniped by a pallet an incredible distance away before. That honestly looked like it shouldn't have hit, but instead we're moving over towards the hill. Seems like they're not going to be using the hill, trying to use the Heidi Ho to maybe see if they're going to try and jiggy them. If you don't know what that means, jiggy is a quick comp term named after a player, which it is basically just W-keying away out of the killer's sight and somehow making a tremendous distance against the...
You might want to
right now it seems like
your headset. Even my hearing of you talking sounds like a robot sometimes. So you might want to disconnect and reconnect. Ooh, what a tag! So I think.
Lord.
Go ahead. What were we saying?
Sorry, I just saw like an insane snipe there, right there from Risk Factor. Having every third survivor now injured is going to be Honestly, it's anyone's game right now. Even with all 3 survivors injured, we do still have to find people. They're currently resetting behind main, not going to be found out completely. No downs just yet, but they are going to start a chase here on top of an injured survivor. Quickly, Myers is going to be using inner healing to reset himself. Maybe going to be meeting up with Mitch to quickly try and that using the barrel to their advantage. Unfortunately, they're going to be sniped by the side.
I've never seen that kind
what
of
was
hit
that?
before. That was such an awkward
That is-
backflip hit. Oh my god. I would
My
not want to meet
lord.
this Chucky in pubs. He is scary.
Just catching strays. Strays left and right. Now, another Pop Goes the Weasel is added to their arsenal. It is a Fresh Hook survivor, so there's no more fresh survivors left. But, we're already out of that story.
There is still Mitch.
Lord,
Mitch
Myers
has not been
moving up
hooked.
to hook. Oh, you are right. But Mitch is in chase right now, and he's currently still injured. He does have main to work with, and he has the window. As well as that, Balance is also in his kit, so he is going to be safe from any type of danger, depending on what type of path he decides to take here. But it's instead going to be a mind game on top of his Ami, leaving Mitch at main, quickly utilizing the miscomm there. Is actually going to be able to grab another down, meaning that this is going to be the second hook on top of his Ami. And that is going to mean 2 Death Hook survivors are currently in play, with one person being completely fresh. Taking this generator with Pop Goes the Weasel, he removes a bunch of progress from it. 25%. Oh, but he's trying to find us right. Currently hiding around here. That's going to be the Myers. Myers found moving over towards Shaq. He doesn't have anything to work with, but he does have the window. Swings for it, ends up going short. Same ping. Definitely going to be abused here. And very smart to do so. Looking for the slice and dice. It's going to be going around the back of Shaq. Unfortunately, unable to dodge it. That is going to be the down. And an incredible performance by our killer here is going to get him his second kill of the game. A whole 3-gen difference, however. Dang. Watch your math. But moving over towards our final remaining survivor, currently a last stand, is going to be, what am I looking at? Okay, trying to use the window there to reposition himself. A big mistake, I'd say, that he tried to quickly correct. That is going to be the death on Tommy, so this is going to be the final chase here. It seems like we're going to be trying to use that mind game. An incredible mind game. Not going to be doubly backing into the killer. Not trying to Luna's there to see if he can throw the killer off guard. I feel like that was a bit of an intense mistake, knowing that he was going to slice and dice, but it seems like they did end up playing that well, however. And even if mistakes were made, guys, they already got their win condition. They don't need to play like it's the end of the world. As we see our Mori here, a bunch of classroom materials. Dang, he's going to town on this. He need the little kick. I didn't even know that Mori had a little kick at the end. Beautiful performance from our killer, but very well played by Effigy, grabbing the win over Mirage. Unfortunately for Mirage, I feel that is going to be their ticket home. But in a super tough fight they put up, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Killer.
This Chucky... At one point, I thought the Chucky was going to do it. He had the survivors on a rope, and I think Mitch, with the balanced landing play at main, was buying them enough time. And the fact that the gens were just so spread out, with that balanced landing, being able to get away every single time the Chucky came in, is what helped secure them getting the pressure back. But GG's, Mirage. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being here in this tournament. But Effigy, you are going to move on to the next round. And Mirage, like I said, we do these kinds of things like once a month. So I would love to have you guys back. You guys are awesome. Absolutely. Probably the sweetest sweethearts of the entire tournament. Been in your chat, seen you guys. You guys are absolutely amazing. Love you guys. I hope we have you guys back in the future. I want to show everybody what's going on here. This is where we are. So Effigy, you'll be playing next Friday against whoever wins whoever loses of Group 15. So either Gamblers or Suffocate will come down here and you will play them on Friday. Next up today we have Locker Gremlins versus Soma Soup Uwu. Soma Soup Uwu needs about 30 plus minutes to be ready. Because we had 2 teams skip ahead of time. They had other scheduled conflicts, and we're not going to just remove them because they are communicating with us of what's going on and that they could be here an hour and a half early. So we're not going to penalize them. So, Locker Gremlins, you have some time. before the matchup. It's about 30 minutes ish. In the meantime, Locker Gremlins, I do need either one or a rocket ship from you guys so we can get that going, get that set up for the future.
Oh my God! Wait, Thunder. Have you ever heard of early Bring Me the Horizon, like 2013 Bring Me the Horizon?
What's that?
Oh, you might need to check him out.
Is that the thing, RAR?
Yeah.
Well, for this section of, because I'm recording the whole thing and it's going up on YouTube, I'm not playing any music. So we'll have to wait till after the tournament now that we're back in tournament settings. So, Soup, if you guys are ready, go ahead and join me with your Survivor group. You were going against Jen, and her Locker Gremlins, she is going to be the Xenomorph. What do you expect from a Xenomorph in the comp setting, Walker?
I'm not gonna lie, we do not see the Xenomorph very often. When the Xenomorph did first come out, we saw a lot of sets and a lot of Xenomorph plays actually been made, but for some reason it has died down, and we have not seen many or much of the Xenomorph lately. So I feel like this is a super powerful killer. Mind you, there is a huge counterplay. If the team has like minimal coordination, it's wraps. It's over. The entire world is gone. Simple.
And the killer they're competing against is going to be the Unknown.
Oh my God, no, dude, that's even worse.
So you think the Xeno's got the edge on this one?
No.
You
I
think
feel like
the Unknown does. So Xeno is going to be at Wretched Shop. And
the Unknown's on Wreckers now.
He should be. I'm double checking now just to make sure. Unknown is on Wreckers.
It's just in. Unknown has been changed to Hawkins.
Right?
Like, Lord, what are we supposed to do?
So you feel like the Unknown should win this set then?
Yeah, because the Unknown is relatively around this or a similar playstyle to the. I mean, it's kind of just a stronger version of the Xenomorph. Let's be honest. Instant teleports, solid M1 killer, a ranged ability which not only is ranged but also goes even longer. The only difference is that it could be slightly weaker depending on how the survivors are able to utilize their loops. Because getting an infection with the UVX blast is honestly a really solid start. You know, funnily enough, no shade thrown. The one time when I was playing with Monarchy against Xeno's Unknown, and so
I know Xeno.
it was really funny.
Me and him are best friends.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, 100%. I still look back at that like little meme of like the Russian kid in the chess tournament. It's like how I invited just two of like the best players in the world to play in like a small little pub tourney. Those were good times. But dude, I was playing against his Unknown, and like he made like a bunch of like huge mistakes because he was trying to like predict my pathing and stuff. And so him chasing me alone like helped us like get a bunch of gens done, like break 3 gens. And I remember this one time when he completely missed a shot trying to expect me to dodge. He said like, guys, I just tried to outsmart Spectral, bro, I'm cooked. I was so dead. Like, I don't know, man. He tried to do something. Mind you, hey guys, don't be scared of comp players. If you turn your brain off, you'll destroy them. It works every time. Trust.
Yeah, if you do the exact opposite of what you should do, the comp player will get confused because you're not doing what you should do, and then it'll throw them off every time.
Yeah.
Go ahead and ready up once you guys got your builds, and we'll get this going, guys. And Jen, don't be worried. You got this, homie. You're one of the best killer mains I know.
I thought you said you were best friends with Xeno.
I said she's one of the best killer mains I know. I didn't say she was my best friend.
No, you said one of the best. Killer Man Xeno.
Yeah, I know a couple. I know Xeno. You know, there's Firejack. There's Jesus.
I thought you said you
I
knew
saw-
V1 as well.
I saw you play Oni, but you couldn't play by the rules, so you're trash at Oni.
Yeah, because I'm supposed to let somebody run in front of me and grab the unhook in front of me while I have my power. I'm just supposed to let him do that. And like, totally, I'm supposed to let somebody work a gen in my face while I'm carrying a survivor to the hook. Lord, man, that was such a devastating moment for me, man. I could have gotten an insane result.
But instead, you ended up getting disqualified.
Yeah, no, that was also funny. This guy had to DQ us because we were too good at the game. That's a flex, mind you.
Is it a flex?
It is a flex. Being disqualified from a tournament because you're too good.
I mean,
Hell yeah.
I disqualified Xeno in V1 from the tournament from being too good. I remember allowing you in the tournament.
Yeah, and then the team that you put me on, I brought like all the way from the losers bracket, man, to literally the finals.
That you really did. What was the team name again? Bagged Milk?
Bagged milk.
That
Those
was
guys were chill.
W name, dude. One of the best names ever. Absolutely love it.
I assassinated every single favorite team, bro. Just saying. Everybody's like, bagged milk ends here. Nope. 4K3.
Would be interesting to see a pub-only tournament where if you're affiliated with comp, we don't allow you in at all.
Wow.
As far as like playing.
So no Walker, no Jesus.
No, but like, you know what would be
No
really
Thunder,
cool?
no Thunder, no Thunder.
Listen. What would be really cool is comp players are like team captains, but they're not allowed to play.
That's already been done. Actually, I've seen that concept before. I think Arcade ran a captains tournament where very notable players were the captains, and they made their own team of little players. They couldn't play with people that they were already on a team with, so it added variety, which was intense. But now into our game, we're going to be playing the Xenomorph on the side of our lovely good old Gen Trap. Now we're going back into this tunnel. It seems coming straight back out. Of course, using the mind games to our advantage. Just trying to figure out exactly where the survivors are. The survivors are stealthing out completely. 0 gen progress, and they're waiting for Corrupt to go out, or at least waiting for somebody to get found in chase away from the generators that they are going to want to pressure here.
This is a strategy you see a lot where people wait out Corrupted and they just hide until it's done.
I mean, this used to be done more in the old gen days when people would start to do this. I think more particularly around S tier sets, or even, or no, I think it was done more.
We see someone in the distance. Does she see him?
Oh.
She definitely sees him now.
Yep, the scratch marks are going to be coming in. Using that, that's going to be quickly the flame turret, almost pushing them out of power, which would have been a super good start for our survivors here. But it seems like right now Gen Trap is just going to be moving forward, moving down towards the bottom side of the map. That's going to be the chase on top of our player.
How did that hit?
What's the curve of the tail around the wall? Potentially looking at a 2-tap here, moving in towards a bit of a safer loop, but a lot of opportunities are going to be presented here. Not going to be going for a double back. Instead, she's going to be swinging around that. The insanely fast down against those.
God.
Lord.
Jen is a amazing alien. What the hell is this?
Leave it to them. Completely grab.
I've never seen her play Xenomorph before, and I'm already impressed. Those 2 tail hits were pixel perfect.
Locker Gremlin's starting off strong right now. Going to be moving back in and towards the crawl form, just making his distance over towards the survivor. They are going to be over towards Wait, no, I don't think they're actually going to be at main at all. Instead, they're going to be over towards the top right side of the map, I believe so, but it seems like Gen Trap is not going to be focusing. Instead, we're going to be moving back over towards the hook. A survivor incredibly close by, trying to stealth for the save, and it seems like that is going to be working out for them, as they are not going to get found out completely. Gen Trap, unfortunately, not going to check that area too thoroughly, believing that there is no one that close by. I mean, If you were there to begin with, I feel like pulling definitely would have been a play, but it seems like right now waiting a little bit is going to give enough time for them to not be tunneled. Not only that, give them even more pressure on Jens, which is definitely going to be necessary. Flame turret there, going to be grabbing a little bit of damage on top of the killer, but the killer is not going to be knocked out of tail form just yet. Unholy talked into chase again around Shaq. This Dwight is going to have to last quite a bit for his team to get more pressure, because remember, all the pressure that they have right now is currently on main, knocking him out of tail form. Not going to be swinging for that to try and break it, not giving him that much distance. Just going to be quickly breaking this door main, ripping it open, forcing his way through, and moving back over towards the flame turret, which has currently been also... Ooh.
Leaving the chase, I think that was probably a smart idea.
Yeah, around main specifically. Since you're not in tail form, that is going to be very bad for you. Try and commit to. But we do see the survivor over here near the edge of the map. Now, I don't think they are going to completely commit to them just yet. Maybe going back towards main here to pressure. Oh no, instead going to be in the tunnels, making his way over exactly where we did end up finding a survivor. OC is going to be in chase. That's going to be the tunnel out. Quick snipe there, even through the sprint burst. Unfortunately, unable to dodge the tail. The tail is going to be super dangerous to deal with right now, especially at Shaq. But as long as you use your distance, like pre-dropping Shaq, or maybe even just running around, do not give him much to use with the super good. Oh my god, more as OC. And not only that, 3 survivors are going to be here. That's going to be the Renato once more. Ace would have been in a lot of danger there. Tries to swing over the truck, but instead the truck is going to work against them. Quickly being stuck there. They are still chasing around this loop, unacknowledged that they are not there anymore, and went over towards the bus. First shot of the game is going to pop. Still 1 stage on the board. I feel like it could have been a little bit faster, but they are still going to have more ground to work with. Pressure coming through as they're going to be completely burnt out of the tail form. Now going to be forced into M1. Just breaking this completely, leaving nothing to chance, nothing to the mind games. But instead, it seems like we're still having a tiny bit of trouble tracking our survivor. And Trap is still, however, in chase. So they are going to still have that opportunity to try and grab the tunnel. But no, it seems like entering the tunnel is going to be... The amount of times I said tunnel in that one sentence alone. Different things means 2 different things. You're either the tunnel out or the tunnel. No, it's the same thing. Whatever. But we're moving back over towards Shaq, currently under the bus right now. As it seems like, ooh. Chase is going to start into the Renato. Swinging through that. Unable to dodge. That's going to be the first tag of this chase. Gen Trap getting a lot of pressure here. Unfortunately, not on the survivors, but in this chase alone, he is going to take it over towards active gens and is not going to commit to it. Gen Trap, keeping herself safe.
I don't know if that was the play. I probably would have committed to that chase.
It seems like there are, like I said, man, there's a slight bit of struggle. It could 100% be the nerfs. The nerfs do tend to try to make you do as much as possible things that you believe would be the right play, when originally you kind of just need to calm down a little bit and do exactly what you wanted to do before. We are going to see the footsteps above us. Going to be crawling out completely to grab that quick chase there. We do know the survivor is going to be directly behind. It seems like that is not going to be an immediate chase yet. Instead, it is going to start over at Shaq on top of the Renato, I believe. Maybe could be hopping inside the blocker. No, they're not. Instead, no, that's not the Renato. It's going to be the Ace. Ace taking that vault, lifing all the way over towards the top side of the map. Just a slow performance by Gen Trap. Of course, it's not the end of the world. We still have 4 gens here. Anything could happen. We do have a very strong slowdown build. Oh my god.
Didn't think I'd see Blast Mine.
Yeah, I feel like I just got hit with Blast Mine in real life as that happened. Entering the tunnel once more. Keeping... Oh, wait. An immediate path brought over here. They are going to be making their way over towards the top side of main, finding a survivor completely out of position. That is going to be OC, but OC is going to be able to make resources. And the flame turret's definitely going to help out, but they are going to want to save their tail form, even if it means giving them a little bit of distance extra. But they are going to leave this chase completely, not going to be committing to it. And I feel like this is worse than just trying to cut your losses. But they do have to start a chase with a new survivor. Committing to the Renato was definitely a super smart play earlier, especially since that is a fresh survivor, meaning that you do get an extra pain res. But the pressure on these generators is starting to become too intense, especially as you are knocked out of your tail form. We're not making any progress or any plans to actually chase the survivors. It seems like we're just going to be breaking these pallets to reduce some resources around for the survivors. Maybe opting to play for a little bit of late game, but entering the tunnel once more, as they are going to be moving over towards this quick TP. And They do make it through. They do end up finding OC. OC is going to be in chase once more. Like I said, though, this is not a pain res survivor. This is somebody that's currently been hooked, almost knocked out of their form there, but they are going to be able to break it in time due to it being inside of a loop and not it being outside in the open ground. Back on Shaq, we're going to be chasing whatever survivors tries to bring us here. Unfortunately, unable to break that turret completely. They are going to be knocked out of their form and forced to break the pallet here. As now M1 is going to be utilized, quickly breaking that to, of course, not give the survivors any chance to quickly redo it. Oh, unnecessary head-on. However, they are going to be forcing the chase here and are now going to be around Shaq with a Xenomorph that does not have a power, just a basic M1 killer, very easy to play as long as you hold your check spots correctly, and it seems like they are doing that very, very powerfully. Unfortunately, Dwight is going to be found out trying to rat the gen, so that is going to be a bit of slowdown for Gentrap. Going to be in the tail form to try and get a quick down here, trying to swing over there. They are going to end up crouching there just perfectly. Unfortunately, not even being able to get over it, just playing it safely here. Another crouch. I feel like maybe trying to fake it just to try and throw him off might work, but I don't know anymore at this point. This could be stages if Gentrap does not get any more progress on top of these hook stages. We just still haven't seen much action. But a lot of chases have been presented to us. Quick and Quiet getting us a very quick vault there. Unfortunately, this is going to be a tag unless they do end up walking into the pallet. That's going to be the stun once more. Renato using everything to his advantage, of course, to not give them any free downs quickly, almost. And now going to be moving around the flame turret. A very smart play, trying to get that snipe over the car. And instead, they're going to get the snipe onto the flame turret over the car. Trying to go for that survivor instead. But the vehicles, of course, are the public enemy of this. Ooh, double vault there. An incredibly risky one at that against the Xenomorph, especially. Unholy, showing a bit of strength in his chase as well. Not making many mistakes other than that, but it was not punished, so they are going to now be pathing around this loop once more. Trying to crouch that. They are going to end up taking a tag, not going around the back of the loop and not leaving it to chance. Remember, this guy is on the floor as well. There's a lot of mind games that could happen here. Tailform used, moving over towards another loop. This pallet is still up. He can still play it, but he's not going to leave it to chance. Remember, he still has this tailform. Oh, but he plays it smart, and unfortunately, Gentrap plays it even smarter. You definitely don't want to go the window there if they do end up W King, because they will be able to quickly grab a tail tag on top of you. But Gentrap expected it and knew that the safest play was to go for the pallet, so they quickly mind gamed that, and they were able to grab that down. This is the second fresh hook survivor that is going to be added to the count, which Gentrap is not going to have to go through the struggles of trying confirm kill. We go quiet now as we're trying to see what Gentrap is looking for. They're trying to look for a survivor that may be around to try and help them out. But no one is in sight just yet. They're going to be popping the gen. We do see survivors over on the left side of the map. Someone very close by for the setup. Maybe looking for an insta-save as the turrets are going to be set up, but a lot of dangers presented here. That little bit of distance could have been exactly enough for them to be able to grab the save. A lot of hits are also going to have to come into play. Losing any sight of this hook right now is definitely not something that's going to want to happen, as they are very close behind. It is going to be OC, and if anything, OC is going to have to maybe go down here for them to be able to make some distance, but unfortunately, two survivors are going to show. They're going to try and set up this double save here. The Renato and the Ace are very close by. We do even see OC very close, or actually unable to completely stop that animation completely. Two survivors going to be nearby, trying to block them in this immediate moment. A lot of flame turrets are also going to be brought and set up as well to try and slow them down, but he's trying to go ahead. Gentrap is going to be able to get around, trying to get this distance on top of the survivors. One of someone's going down, but the DH, insane, as it is going to work out completely, and unfortunately, that is going to be Soma.
Dead Hard was insane.
With a 4-out and 2 stages, 2 survivors freshly hooked. Just so unfortunate for Locker Gremlins. Win condition having to be getting only 1 stage and getting a 4-out. Oh my lord.
That was an absolute insane Dead Hard. I thought for sure they were going to have to reset, go back in, do it again, and that, like, oh my god, that was just beautiful. Our Dwight was MVP of that match, 100%.
Yeah, dude. Insane chases all around, and that DH at the end definitely saved not only him, it also ended up saving OC.
Yeah, saved everybody. Oh my god, and we got a invite from the killer. Let me add them real quick.
Never seen anything like that. My god. Yo, dude, bunch of plans been made too. I don't even know anymore. There's a bunch of stuff happening. So first, I'm gonna be boxing Thunder, so you know I'm gonna punch him straight in the jaw, and he's gonna go flailing to the floor. Yeah, see that? You heard that? You heard that falling? That was him. He was reenacting it. That was so well timed. Like, dude,
Man's
you cannot
over here just dreaming. Hydrate. They want us to hydrate, sir. Drink your water.
I don't have water. All I have is
The tears of your victims.
Spicy water. I have spicy water.
Oh shit! You're gonna have to drink that then.
Okay. Yo, wait. Yo.
Yeah, exactly. I'm.
Spicy water casting.
Listen, I'm
Hell
Paul.
yeah.
I'm Paul. He's Tyson. We got the script.
Yeah.
We're good to go.
Okay, but difference is that I'm Tyson, like 23.
Tyson at 23? You mean after he bit off Evander Holyfield's ear and he got banned from boxing? That Tyson?
Yeah, no, I'm talking Tyson straight out of jail, bro.
Oh my god. Alright. And
That boy was not playing games.
we are getting set up for the next match. So we got the unknown. So we got to see a dominant survivor group match on this one. They're only allowed... Well, I mean, tiebreaker scenario, they're only allowed two hooks, 2 fresh hooks. So this should be interesting. What would you think? As the killer, all you really have to do is just tunnel out one survivor and you win, right? You can give up all of them. What would you be thinking as the killer? You'd be thinking,
Yeah, no, I think your mistake was the word thinking.
Oh, that's right. That's right. It's okay, Jen. You did good. You did so much better than I would have. You hit so many crazy hits with that tail. Honestly, like, I think it was just a bad matchup, but you did great.
I mean, your
Don't beat yourself up at all.
Man, you had very good chase.
DBD has failed a wall of wonders just a second. Alright, so we're waiting on them to come back. You're a black screen? Try resetting, because I don't show that on the stream
Tyson,
itself.
during this moment, missed the greatest opportunity of all. And it's a picture of Tyson in a hug with, Logan, man. Or Logan, Jake. I get those two mixed up sometimes. But, like, they're in a hug, and he's, like, staring directly at the ear, bro. He low-key coulda. He was biting his gloves all night. He was biting his gloves so he doesn't bite him when they get into a hug.
Oh
that is
my
insane.
god, that's wild. Could you imagine if he did bite his ear off?
That was the second ear. Ears eaten. Stats 2.
Hey, nobody else can claim that, you know? That's his record. He's got to beat his record, I guess. Alright, we're waiting on Wall of Wonders to get back in. They had like a black screen or something.
When you low-key full of joy and whimsical feelings, but bro's full of malice and malevolence. That's like you and me, man.
Exactly.
Who is saying Jake Paul committed elder abuse?
I mean, he kind of was. I mean, he's damn near 60 years old and he's getting punched in the face. Like,
Someone put 3,000 on Tyson. You poor soul.
Alright, we are loading in. The first match, 5 gens were completed, only 2 hooks, and they were 2 fresh hooks. That was our first match. So, win condition is pretty high for our survivors on this one. They gotta play damn near perfect. Kind of like how I was in that 2v8. Damn near perfect. By the way, if you guys don't know, on this loading screen, there is 2 hidden cats you can find in this loading screen somewhere. So little hidden Easter eggs for you if you guys want to find them.
I already found one.
Oh yeah, where is he?
And I found both. That is so easy to find.
There you go.
You think I'm gonna tell people?
Yeah, you can't. Don't tell people. They gotta look for them themselves.
Okay, so if you look closely on the big carousel.
All right, we're loading in. We're starting with corrupt intervention.
Looking at the unknown right now on the side of Soma. Soma is just going to have to, you know, just run forward.
Just run forward.
Just hold W.
Hillian, you found
That's
both
like-
cats already? Hell yeah. Don't tell anybody. Make them find them themselves.
Thunder said, guys, we hid them. And they're like, in your face. Setting up right now, the UVX Blast. Now, you know, there's a weird habit I see a lot of, like, professional unknown players do. They just kind of spam their power. They don't even use it. They're just like, do it, undo it, do it, undo it. Kind of weird. Getting a quick infection there with the UVX Blast. Whisker is going to be completely,
Oh, that was a hell of a shot.
yeah, very good bounce off the wall there, directly on top of Suki. The ace is going to be injured, and they are still going to be affected by the UVX Blast, so they're going to have to stay nearby in order to try and get it off, so they're not completely... Whoa. Do not get into a car with the unknown. If you saw what they just said. Lord, now we're still chasing after a Survivor, trying to get a quick down on it to Suki. However, we're going to be focusing our sights onto a Survivor who's currently even more zoned, not opting to grab a quick infection, instead just going for that quick down, going for a long snipe. Oh my god! Intense mortar shot, grabbing it on top of the Dwight, and he runs into him. Insane portal macro. Never seen before. I've never seen a mortar shot like that, not even in the comp scene.
Critical says sometimes unknown players pull up their power to delay placing the hallucination. I didn't know you could do that. The things you learn when you hang out with comp players.
It is so intentional. That play was not accidental at all. That was fully planned. First stage of the game going to be coming through. Insane. Now, as the win condition is going to be presented towards the survivors, having to now pop 5 gens and get out. An infection through the wall as they hug it tightly. A very, I'd say kind of a mistake. It's not the end of the world. They do go for that bounce!
What the hell was that? He hit that?
Yeah, coming through on it too. Oh my god, what are you supposed to do? This is just shambles for the survivors. Going for another mortar shot on top of the survivor. Unfortunately, not going to be landing that one, but just those 2 shots alone are already leaving me lightheaded.
Yeah, like, who the hell is this unknown, and can I get an autograph? What the hell?
Better than Ultra? Maybe.
I mean, we're going to find out, but these shots are insane, brother. And that is second stage.
Now the... Oh my god, and the game's over. Oh, wait, but we're going for the slug play! Going down before they're going to be reaching any resources. Shack Pallet has been dropped. Suki going to be one of the last remaining survivors presented to us once more. Also going to be infected completely by the infection. Oh, the UVX Blast is going to be have to be utilized here harshly too, as we're going to be teleporting directly back into Shack just to hook our survivors, which is going to be the end of the road for Locker Gremlins, unfortunately, as Somasuke is going to be grabbing their win and are going to be moving forward in the tournament.
Oh, they got the gen!
Over. And just like that, I spoke too soon. Locker Gremlins moves forward and is instantly in the grand finals. Thank you for playing Soma Soup. It's over. They popped the
That is the pub's win condition. If you are getting beat, but you finish a gen, you win. That is pub rules, guys. I'm sorry to Soma Soup. You just got eliminated from the 1 gen.
And the instant tap right now, looking for the 2 tap before they're able to get that down. 4K4. That is twice in a row that we've seen a game like this, where 1 killer set ends up resulting into a 4K4.
Honestly, I am impressed
Dude.
that they fought through that snowball to still get 1 gen. to just show that they're not going down without a fight. I love that. Good shit, guys. Good fight, Locker Gremlins. I don't think anyone could have beaten this unknown. I think this unknown literally is going to carry Soma Soup probably to the finals with the way they're playing. I want to see their other killers. This is insane.
Brother.
Hi, Kalka. Welcome in, homie. Yo, thank you so much for the follow, Violet Flame and Zal G. Appreciate you guys. Welcome in. We're just waiting for the survivors to die off so we can just end the match officially.
Dude, I don't even know what to say to this. This is just one of the most dominating unknown performances ever. This player truly showing that they shouldn't be unknown. Oh, Lord.
Locker
That
Gremlins.
is such a bad punch.
Locker Gremlins, I'm very proud of you guys. You guys did great in this tournament. Coming into a tournament against a bunch of comp players and not being comped, but managing to fight as hard as you guys did and securing at least one win. I'm proud of you guys. You guys did great. We should get a W in the chat for the Locker Gremlins. One of the only teams that was not comp, but they still pulled out a win. I'm proud of you guys. You guys are awesome. Let's double check perks. And just kind of go through everything, even though...
Is that it?
That would be it. That was the matchup. And then I'm going to go over what we're going to be doing going forward, guys. And like Jen said, we will see the Locker Gremlins rise again in the future, guys. Keep your eyes on them. They're going to come back stronger next time and kick everyone's butt. But here we are, guys. This is what it looks like for today. Moving on to the next group is Effigy and Soma Soup Uwu. And this is what our Friday looks like for next week. I will have a new killer sheet. I will have a new schedule up no later than Tuesday. I will try to have that up sooner if I can. Preferably by Sunday if I can, but I do have things going on, so I can't commit to that. But no later than Tuesday, I will have everything up for everybody, so you'll have about 3 days minimum ahead of time to get ready. You will be, let's zoom out a little bit. So because this is round 3, this is your tier 1 round, guys. This is going to be your Billies, your Blights, your nurses. Your top tier killers are going to be used in this round. So pull out your big dogs, especially if you're down here. But remember, whoever your team plays as killer, you cannot play that killer again. So if you bust out your strongest killer now, you still have a lot of strong teams to go through. Effigy and Soma Soup showed us that even though they went down into the underdog bracket, they are not anything to just scoff over. They are strong teams as well. So keep in mind your picks going forward, but these are our 4 matchups. Whoever loses between Gamblers and Suffocate will go against Effigy. Whoever loses between Courage and Prism will go against Soma Soup. And that will give us our 2 winners of the underdog bracket and our 2 winners of the winners bracket. And then from there going forward, it will be the final day, Saturday, will be winners, underdog bracket, the loser of the winners bracket, and the winner of the underdog bracket, and then the grand finals. So that is what we are looking at, and to give you a full screen of everything, this is what it all looked like so far, if you guys wanted to see that. I know a lot of you guys are interested in the full thing. So here it is for you. And again, we are going to go ahead and end the tournament part of the stream right now, and we're going to go forward into the rest of the stream. So let's go ahead and end the recording now. We will see you guys on Friday for the tournament.